What's up, you heathens and demons, sinners and saints? You genuine human beings and interlocutors out there. People that will actually have conversations with people and be genuine about it. How y'all doing? I wanted to get this out of the way today. Today I'm going to be doing a thing again. We're going to see how it goes. I see Will is in the side chat. He's probably watching the stream from last night and was about to message me about this very thing. So I had a PTown moment last night at the tail end of a fairly good conversation. Like, at one point, like, I was in one of the oddest mixes of a room I had ever been in. We had fundamental Christians in the room. We had Brett Keane, a maltheist Christian. We had a Muslim. We had me, an atheist. It was this weird fucking mix, man. And it was this like really interesting conversation right up until the point that PTown got there. And I wanted to highlight it today because I'm probably going to be gone for like a week again. I'm going to be trying to quit smoking again. I got just a little bit of the weed. One of my homies left me the other day. I'm really going to really try to quit smoking cigarettes. In order to do that, I can't have weed. I've got like one cigarette left. I have a little bit of pipe tobacco that I'm going to smoke for part of the day, probably through the stream. And then I'm going to basically plop my ass on the couch for the rest of the day and try not to smoke. Try not to smoke at work tomorrow when I'm here. Just really try not to fucking smoke. So we're going to see how long this goes. I expect that I'm going to be very uncomfortable for at least a week, and I'm probably not going to want to stream. If you see me tomorrow or the next day, well, that probably means it didn't last very long. But I am determined it's going to happen this time. It's going to happen today. I have to quit smoking. I have to quit smoking. So that's, what I'm doing. But yeah, so last night, and real quick, we'll just throw this up here. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. If you're a theist and you just despise me, please, all the interaction is going to help the channel grow. As well, links in the description if you want to help out the channel, all that stuff. Great. So, last night, I'm trying to get better at being a YouTuber. Last night after my stream, at the tail end of it, I saw Mark as I was closing it down, Mark Reed was like, hey, I'm going to be on Neil the 604. I'm going to be doing my deconversion story. So I went and I started watching that. And it was a good deconversion story, especially considering Mark Reed's pretty much always been an atheist as far as I understand. But his mom did have some woo, so he talked about that. And he talked about his debates and stuff. And, like, they were about to have the after party. Not much was really going on. I was planning on, trying to get into the after party. It's been a while since I've been into Neil 604 Atheist after party into one of his streams. Too long. I consider Neil a friend. So I was planning on doing that. And I saw Brett Keane streaming. And Brett, he has some interesting conversations. I went over there. I saw it wasn't necessarily about Kent Hovind, but they had Nicholas Schunk in there, and they were kind of talking Bible. And I'm like, I think the stream needs my attention. So I decided to go over there. I went into the room, and like I said, we had this really great conversation, and it ended up being this, I don't know, one of the oddest mixes that I've had in a room. And, I don't get too many opportunities to speak to a Muslim, and Muslims know their shit. It's a whole different level compared to like talking to just any Christian. So there's this fascinating conversation, and then PTown comes in. So that's where I'm going to start today. As you could, I went to bed with a bad taste in my mouth from this conversation. I left the conversation angry, which is something that I've been able to like kind of avoid doing for a while since I stopped drinking. I rarely leave a conversation like fucking I'm mad. It's happened like once or twice, but it doesn't happen very often since I quit drinking. And I woke up this morning thinking about it. So let's get right into it. I don't like disingenuous people. I don't like people that are going to gaslight you, just outright lie. And that's PTown to a T. I titled the stream PTown Toll or Insane Person. Or troll or insane person. And I lean towards troll. I think he's a fucking troll. I think he's disingenuous with pretty much everything he says. I don't really believe anything he says. But if half of the stuff he says is true, then it's quite possible he's just fucking insane. So I guess let's just get into it. So, I don't know. It's probably going to be an hour and a half or 2 hours. So I should probably get through it, huh? Although, when I'm running my stuff, I'm not going to really have to comment too much. I'll comment when I feel like I need to, but I don't have to comment very often. But we're going to start here with the Brett Keane stream that happened yesterday, and we'll just let it speak for itself, I think. Tends to be, anyway.
What do you mean by that? None.
Oh, no, you're weird.
Guys, I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Please don't get in the way.
All right, so P-Town had just come in. This is at the tail end. So, like, the guy that's on the big screen, that's the Muslim dude. Can't remember his name. Brett's in there. Nicholas and his wife Julie had already left. And had gotten into this, borderline philosophical conversation between me and the Muslim, which I was explaining myself badly. It got into, me thinking God's not necessary. He really wanted to get into some philosophical arguments, like the argument of contingency, and I'm just like, hey, dude, it's not that important to me. It's like, and then try to say, like, if you make a claim that there's no God, you have a burden of proof, and I try to explain why I don't think, it got into this, like, conversation, like a real conversation, and then P-Town comes in. He's there for a minute at the tail end of that. Doesn't really say anything. He just said something, so we're finally recognizing, hey, P-Town, fuck, you're here, and Brett's gonna take a break.
Like some kind of craze. I'll be right back.
All right, I won't call knockout right now. I'll wait to get back from peeing.
All right, so he's gonna wait for Brett to get back from peeing to call me out, right? And he's gonna call me out because he knows, like, he saw my stream where I was dealing with the praise and Kent Hovind shit and the tail end of it. He knows I got an issue with P-Town, right? I got an issue with P-Town right now. So he might wait for me or for Brett to get back from taking a piss. But I ain't going to wait for Brett to get back from taking a piss. Well, answer my question. Like, so do you think
now's not the right time to
answer my question, right P-Town? Is touching somebody's pee-pee, like, is that washed away by Hovind's greatness?
Hovind didn't touch any PPs. So you make it sound like you're the one who does this. This is what atheists do.
It was great. Like, it was great because people were like, dude, you just made me sick.
Because you're going to stretch and twist just like the snake.
No, I covered it. You said what you said, dude. Are you running away from what you said?
No. What did you call my relationship with my mom? For the record.
I mean, according to your story that you gave on my channel, it was abusive.
You said that I abused my mom.
Yeah, according to you abused your mother.
You said it multiple times. No, I didn't say I abused my mom.
According to your story. Oh, it's not going over my head, Will. Like, I totally think this dude is a troll, and he's not to your level at all.
According to my story, like,
yes.
This conversation is
it's really weird. I know. So
it's really weird because it's absolutely astronomically ridiculous. Where you say that I abused my own mom. So this is what.
All right. So he's trying to, like, deflect. So I'm asking him a point blank question. Point blank. Hey, you wanted to praise the stream. You know what? Here. We'll just remind you guys because he doesn't want to answer the question that I asked him. He wants to deflect and he wants to say, hey, you're going around my back saying that I abused my mom. And I'm like, I'm not going behind your back. I'm very public. I said it to you. I mean, for one, but he's feigning outrage because he said a really disgusting thing on Praise's stream. And I asked him and he doesn't want to answer. So let's remind you guys what P-Town said exactly on Praise's stream that I'm trying to get clarification on.
Kent all about the money? That would be a good question to ask him.
Can I just follow my point before I get cut off?
You don't understand fact finding.
Before I get cut off this time, let's just say that this Chris dude actually did touch that guy's wiener with a paper towel. Let's just say that, and all of these bad things happen. Let me finish. Can I make my point before I get cut off? Is what I was asking. So let's assume that he did touch his wee with a paper towel, and all of you were just tremendously hurt by all of this. Does it still not pale in comparison compared to what Kent has done?
Wow, you're gonna make me sick.
Yeah, I just asked the question. I want to know, like, maybe you need to clarify that statement. But he doesn't want to clarify that statement. He wants to talk about how I'm, like, going behind his back and accusing him of abusing his mom. When I say that I find the story that he told me to be very problematic and to be very abusive. A story that he told me over the course of several hours in several streams. But all right, let's get back to what happened last night. So you know, that's point blank. Like, dude, that's fucked up. You're a sick fuck. Like, you're sick. You're sick in the fucking head. And that's like, you know, he's with a bunch of Christians here, so it has nothing at all to do with me or trolling me in any way. He's just a fucked up person. Right? Okay. So, wanted to ask the question. I did ask the question. He wants to deflect and kind of go back and start like a little, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Like, what do you want? He wants to talk about his mom again. Because he always wants to talk about his fucking mom. It's a thing that he does. He's like, I don't want to talk about my mom, but hey, let's talk about my mom for like 6 hours, even though I don't want to talk about my mom. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. But all right, let's go back to what happened yesterday.
Do
you want to explain?
Yeah, do you want to explain,
do you want to explain like the exorcism and all that shit?
Respect. No, let's respect each other, guys. We can disagree.
No, like he came on my channel and I really can't respect anybody that would ever make a statement like we just heard from P. Mars. Like, you know, yeah, pedo touched the little boy in the bad place, but come on, it really pales in comparison to all the great things Kent Hovind did. No, there's no respect there. Should be no respect. Fuck that guy. You should be saying, fuck that guy too. He talked about how he did an exorcism on his own mother, who was like really extremely mentally disturbed.
Yes, my mom has.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fucked up and it was abusive.
And for the record, I love my mom.
Just like you did make the statement. All right, so you did make the statement. Like, are you going to deny that you made the statement on Praise's channel that hey guys?
No.
Doesn't like, even if Chris Jones did touch this little boy's pee-pee.
So now you're twisting.
Oh, leave me alone, Knock. Leave me alone. I didn't decide to go into this stream last night and gaslight you for a fucking hour, but leave me alone. All right, no, not gonna leave you alone, PTown.
Into another topic.
Did like overshadow, and people were like, "Dude, you're making me sick." Like, you didn't make that statement, or
again, you're stretching the truth again.
Did you misspeak? Did you not mean to say what you said?
Guys, I just got back. How did we go?
I tried to keep it from it. Sorry.
How did we go from prime movers to the existence of the universe to PP? Come on, man.
I'm trying to figure that out.
So, Brekeen, so on one of Praise's streams, trying to justify Kent Hovind, like, P-Town made a really messed up statement. I was just asking him about it.
Okay, what was the statement? What about PP?
I mean, I could probably bring it up. It was at the very end of my stream, but like paraphrasing, it was pretty much like, hey guys, like doesn't this Chris Jones dude, like even if he did touch the little boy's pee-pee, doesn't what Hovind did kind of overshadow that? Or it was along those lines, and people were like, dude, you're making me sick. And I was asking, like, did you miss? You know, and you know, I need to clip this and you know, make a little meme out of it. So every time, you know, like he tries to say like this didn't happen, or he tries to go to how I'm being mean because I accused him of abusing his mom. You know, like I have it. I'll just pull it up, and I ain't got to like try to paraphrase something that I'm remembering from, you know, a fucking open room 6-hour stream that was about like 10 different things, but always kept somehow getting back to PTown's mom. It's like giving me like strong vibes from back in the day with American Pie shit, like Stifler's mom. Do you not stand by that? Like, surely in the moment you were defending Hovind, maybe you didn't mean what you said.
Well, okay. So I didn't hear the conversation between you and PTown. If you guys want to get into that, that's fine. But
okay. And what did you say about? And what did you call me? You said that I abused my mom.
I saw you again. I would call you on it.
You said I like, and in one of I think it was your last stream. You said that I abused my mom.
No, I said according to you, you abused your mother.
Yeah, and you said this multiple times, and you think that this is okay.
According to you, like
my mom.
So you come into my stream and you think you're gonna get like sympathy or something by giving this like.
You always want to bring up where I performed an exorcism. I don't want to. My mom, dude. Like you did this. You did this, Rage. Like my mom, who I love, who brought me into this world, who I love unconditionally. Like I take off weeks off of work and fly to another state to go take care of her after she's been taken out of mental institutions, after she's gone through.
Did you give her an exorcism?
I did, yes, and this was I was an infant Christian at the time, and yes, I experienced some things, and I'm open to talking about it, but I don't want to talk about it. Always said, because you pushed me on it, and I talked about it.
So, yeah, I will be
honest. So but you're going to tell people.
No, I told you.
Other streams. You're gonna publicly no.
I told you. I told you in that. All right. So you're gonna get the gist. And I could go through all of this and make this a long stream, but I don't think it's necessary. So he's gonna come in and he doesn't want to answer the question about the fucked up shit he said. And he wants to go to his mom. And he wants to accuse, like play this like victim card. Oh my God, you said these things publicly, and I love my mom. I took care of my just really trying to play it up. And then he'll give like this really watered down version to like Brett and the Muslim guy there. And it's going to be really hard for me to articulate, and it's going to really be hard for me to articulate it here, right? Like this was several streams. Like as I was going through my streams today, trying to find some of this shit. We can go up here for now. I'm trying to find some of this shit. You know, I noticed like it was a lot of streams, and then like I think there was a stream on Math Pig's channel where we got into some of it. Maybe a time when I popped into Praise's channel, and then there was like 3 or 4 streams on my channel. Now, PTown has been coming into my open rooms. My open rooms tend to last 5 to 6 hours. I'll always be like, I'm going to bed at midnight, and I stay up to 2:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock. And over the course of several hours, PTown will usually preface, well, I don't really want to talk about my mom, but let's talk about my mom, right? And I'm like, well, like there's no way I'm going to, it's like a needle in the haystack. Like I know the stream to where I like just finally after days of talking to PTown about this shit, several different streams, hours worth of talking to PTown about this shit, him finally bringing it up again in another room, and not one that I'm going to show. I remember what room it was. I finally just said, fuck it. Like, dude, everything, like, I don't believe your story, but if your story's true, the way you tell it, to me, it's abuse. And you abused your mother, and you need to stop telling this story because I don't think it works well for you. I think it's very abusive if true, right? And so he gives this, like, watered-down version last night, and it's really hard for me to articulate. And Brett Keenan's like, well, I don't know if I've really find this abusive, and the Muslim guy's like, I don't see what's abusive about this. But I don't know. Just to begin with, I don't know, doing an exorcism on your own mom, especially when you've never been trained in doing exorcism, to me, that's just like abusive as fuck to begin with. Like, just point blank, straight up, sorry, not sorry, I disagree with you there. But, all right, so I did find some of it in this one particular stream. Now, I know that there was the stream with Marty, when she came on talking about her witchcraft and his witchcraft, like some kind of threat to America, was like, I think the first time we got into it on my channel, because I opened it up and he came in, and it was the first time I ever heard of, well, I don't really want to talk about my mom, but let's spend like 5 hours talking about my mom type shit. And we got into it, and I didn't go with the like, this is fucked up abusive shit, but he said some fucked up shit. So like, then there was another conversation where he's like trying to downplay it, kind of like he did with Brett last night. Kind of trying to downplay what he said in the last conversation. And then Marty actually comes in and is like, no, motherfucker, you said this shit. And he's like, I didn't say that. And no, you said this shit. And he always tries to say it's because, so he's lying about, I think he's lying about most of his shit. And when you're lying about shit, you're just not going to remember all the lies you tell. Because I think if there was accuracy to it, it'd be a very consistent story, but you're gonna see there's no consistency to any of the bullshit that he said. I'm gonna play a good chunk of this, and it's not gonna be everything. This is just gonna be a little snippet of how I might come to a fucking conclusion, which is my right to come to. Like, if you're coming on my fucking channel, giving me this long-winded fucking story about how you performed an exorcism on your mother, will I have the right to form a fucking opinion on that? And my opinion is valid to me. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. Maybe listen to it and stop going around telling this fucking abusive fucking story about how you gave an exorcism to your fucking mom and calling your mom it and shit. All right, so all right, let's I got it out of my system. Let's start here for a minute, I think. Let me make sure I'm at the right timestamp where I want to be. I'm not. So that was going to suck. Let's go to 3:54:20. I'm at 3:40. Is this even the right one? I think, yeah, this is the right one. No, that's not the right one. That's why I'm at the wrong timestamp. This is the one I want. That's not the one I want. This is the one I want. 3:54. Cool. We'll start here.
I don't know if you saw that side chat or not. But when you were saying the last time we spoke during the stream that Knock and I were doing that, your God was going to lower my meds, not raise them, and pretty
Never
much
said that.
Yeah, I don't get it, like, because, yeah, my mic is popping. I'll try to take the mic. Yeah, sorry. Me yelling like that, I noticed it in my last couple streams. So, like, if I do a StreamYard, in this, my voice is going to be extremely low. If I do just a straight StreamYard, I need to check my settings in there. I'm not sure what happened there. But, like, my mic is so low. But if I'm just on OBS like that, I don't have that issue. So I start screaming with the mic right in my fucking mouth like that. Yeah, I'm probably blowing out your eardrums and probably shouldn't do that. So I'll try to take the microphone a little way. But I also, like, when I'm playing videos, my mic seems to go low on OBS. So, like, I did turn down the videos a little bit. Hopefully it'll be more even, and I'll try not to scream in your ear. That was like a contrived rant anyway. I know, like, Will's like, PTown's getting what he wants, and that's like contrived. I'm not really, like, PTown is a troll. Like, I don't really believe any of the shit that he says. And yeah, I think he's trying to do a Will Kincaid, and he's just not very good at it.
You did, actually. You literally did. You said he was going to lower. Not. Yes, you did. You said your God was going to heal me, and my meds were going to be lowered because I had an appointment the next day. That. You literally did.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that whole crazy part.
Yeah.
Did God lower your med?
Huh?
Wait, did God lower your med?
The healing? Sorry.
No, my nurse practitioner raised them. They didn't lower them.
I never said that. This is just the normal ploy that you guys always do.
So as you can see, like, my microphone is really super low. It's going to be hard to hear me in this. And people are in the side chat telling me about it, but you guys know me. I never really look at the side chat much, especially like if I'm in like the midst of the conversation. I'm horrible at looking at the side chat. And, you know, I think at one point somebody tells me in stream and I try to, I don't know, I might be AFK and I just didn't hear him or something. But yeah, my microphone is super low. It seems to be the issue when I'm just running StreamYards. So I need to really get into StreamYard and look at my settings there.
Literally said that. that.
I never did. Go look it up and play it.
Matt's about to find it right now. No, he's not.
That's what everyone probably said about me, but
no,
maybe you prayed for it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You were saying what you say. You're like, you seem like a great person. You seem like you have a great personality, and I'm worried about you. And you're gonna be your meds are gonna be lowered. And we were talking about anxiety and depression and suicide, and somebody said something that kind of takes.
No, I've never been anti-medication.
I didn't say you were anti-medication. I said you.
But the chat did. The chat took it off to another level. I watched when you came back on the next stream, and I remember thinking I never said any of this.
No, it was like
so it's all rumors.
No, it's not. We had this conversation, PTown.
It was all receipts. It was literally like wasn't it like literally like God is gonna slowly like heal you and you won't need meds no more or something.
Yes,
like
I never
that.
said you were anti-meds, but you said that the meds I'm on are going to be reduced.
Make sure you can hear me. Here, we'll go up here for a second. Actually, up here. And this is what PTown does, right? So he'll try to come in and he'll try to kind of like pretend he didn't say what he said, or he'll give some like watered down version the next time, or he'll start small. Maybe he forgot, like, I don't know, like he probably goes around giving the whole I don't want to talk about my mom, but let's talk about my mom thing to every like atheist room he goes to. I'm assuming there, I don't fucking know. But it's like, you know, like he'll say like, well, you know, he'll come in all like low key, and you know, and I've had so many conversations like with so many different people. It's really hard for me to keep track, even sober. You know, you add in all the drinking I was doing during a lot of these things, and it's just this like clusterfuck of a jarbled memory. So it's really hard for me to sometimes nail down like exactly who I'm talking to and exactly what you said and all the hours that I talked to you if I was involved. Sometimes in open rooms I'm not that involved and I'm AFK a lot, you know, like it's just this, like, I've talked to so many different people for so many hundreds of hours at this point. It's hard to keep track of. So he'll come in and he'll give this like really low key, low ball account of what had happened. And so other people will come in and be like, no, you like said this crazy fucking shit. He's like, no, I didn't. You know, and it's like this pattern. If everybody's doing that to you, PTown, then clearly you're just being a disingenuous fucking twat. You're like gaslighting with every word that you take. None of it's accurate. None of it's true. You know, it's like, why should anybody fucking take you seriously? I don't believe a goddamn word you're going to say about your mom here. I don't believe any of it. I think you're a habitual liar. Or a troll.
Which I think not.
God's calling on us to exercise the
crazy
demon.
With it. In fact, now that Mark Reed's here, I think I even invoked like what Mark Reed had brought up about what happened in Australia in that conversation. Because, yeah, like you were getting borderline like fucking crazy, like God will heal all things and shit. And then we really started calling you on it, so you started backing away, and you're like, well, no, like I'm still for meds.
No.
Go to the doctor, of course. You know.
You guys take things I say to a whole nother different level.
No, that's literally what you said.
Space, time, and reality.
That up.
Like, I'm just telling you out of my heart right now, I never said anything like that.
Oh, for love
it's okay to say that we changed your mind. I mean, you know, that's okay to say that somebody changed your mind.
I'm an honest person. If someone changed my mind, I would let them know.
My mind hasn't been changed. Is what I was trying to get.
PTown, had you been drinking?
No, I was addressing PTown. Yeah.
So, PTown, I got a question. So, I mean, a lot of implication can come with the sort of healing of faith, right? So, do you think a faith has any physical effect on the recovery or the systems that heal somebody's body or mind physically?
No.
I do.
No.
It definitely does.
Definitely.
I do. I believe in the placebo effect because there is one.
Does. There's tons of evidence.
Well, the placebo effect, yeah, that's true. That's true. So is it just the placebo effect, or do you think it has more of an effect?
No, man. No, please leave me alone, Rage. I wish I could highlight your stupid fucking comments. Please leave me alone, Rage. Why are you picking on me? All I did was come in and troll you last night and fucking gaslight you and try to act all outraged and say you're going behind my back when, no, I didn't go behind your back. I said the shit to your face. Like in this stream that I'm showing later, I'm not going to show the part, but like I literally said, like everybody's being nice to you. And you're going to see like people being nice to you about this stupid shit. And I'm like, I'm not going to be nice to you. What you're describing to me is abusive as fuck, dude. I said it to you. It's my opinion. I think if your story's true, you're an abusive fuck. But I don't think your story's true. I think you're a liar.
Than that, do you think there's something spiritually working to heal?
PTown is directly asking you.
Well, either of you, the people that said yes, I guess Richard as well. If you think,
Oh, I'd love to answer that.
I can't disagree with the placebo effect. I really can't. I mean, that's.
Do I think there's more going on than the placebo effect? I think there's more going on that's not assigned to placebo effect, but it could still be a placebo effect. Like there's people who eat the right thing, even if it's bad for them. If they think that it's the right thing, it's kind of good for them. Or they exercise whether they need to or not, and that's kind of good for you because you think it is. Now, that's not assigning, the strict definition of placebo effect, but I still think it can be a placebo effect.
Yeah, but I mean, I would attribute that, exercise, even if you don't specifically need it, to it being healthy.
Oh yeah. I'll definitely try to remember the part, at the end of that stream where I tell you to go fuck yourself. Like, fuck no, you brought this shit. You brought this shit onto my channel. You gave this ridiculous story time and time again. Fuck no, you want to go around talking about how you abused your mother. I'm going to fucking point it out. Stop telling the fucking story. You want me to stop talking about it? You fucking stop talking about it. I love how you're just playing the innocent victim here. Oh my god, I'm just an innocent Christian, and oh meanie, raging atheist, such a dick. I'm here for it, PTown. I'm here for it.
For you in a more physical way than the placebo effect, right? Where you believe something is working, and therefore you experience, the sort of systems working. I'm just wondering. I guess I'll get to the meat of this. How do we check that God is actually doing anything in this healing kind of thing? Would be my question. Mm-hmm. How do we find that out?
I don't know that we can. I'd like to see medical documentation for the existent condition. Then I'd like to see medical documentation for the new condition. I'd like for it to not be treatable as a condition, if that makes any sense to you, and verifiable that there was this change.
All right, I'm going to skip forward a little bit. I wanted to show you that part. Excuse me. And there's probably, like, if I really would have taken some time and went through this stream, I might even do it. Like, I've got time. I'm gonna get some cleaning done today. I'm gonna watch The Last of Us, but other than that, like, I'm getting the stream out of the way, and you're probably not gonna see me for about a week or so if I stop smoking, if I actually do it. But I wanted to show you like this part because that's one thing like PTown loves to do. He'll come in, he'll say a bunch of crazy shit. We'll go back up here. He'll say a bunch of crazy shit, and then when you actually call him out on it, he'll say, "No, I never said that shit." And that's just another. It's not just me. There was an instance of Marty's. No, you said a bunch of crazy shit, and it was insane. No, I never said that. No, you fucking did. You like I even remember like in the stream as you was saying it, you were like bitching about how we and the side chat was taking you out of context when we were just talking about the shit you just fucking said. Cray shit. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. But all right, so I want to skip forward to about 4:10, and I'm thinking like I could show more of the Brett Keane stream last night as well because that shit was just a clusterfuck of playing the victim card and oh poor me, oh woe is me, why is Rage being such a meanie? I don't want to talk about those horrible comments I said about the pedo touching the weenie and Kent Hovind being so great. Don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about oh, woe me and big, bad, mean Rage. Go fuck yourself. Answer, like, why? Go fuck yourself. All right, let's get to 4:10. That'll be good enough.
positive state, you're not going to get cancer, which is what you're suggesting.
And I'm not suggesting that. I mean, I'm just saying it's another variable. I think that the mind does have a big role to play in these sort of things. I can't prove it. I think it's you shouldn't dismiss it.
I think this is.
All right, so before he really starts talking, let's go back just a little bit. Actually, I don't think I'm quite there yet. All right, I think I'm good. I'm good. All right. So before he starts talking, again, mind you, I've said it a billion times, and I'm going to say it again. He wants to talk about his fucking mom, and he gets bored when we're not doing it. So, you know, we had started talking to him for a little while here, but we got off on a tangent, as we sometimes do in these open rooms. Again, my microphone is just popping. I even got it away from my mouth. I think it's time for a new microphone. I think my microphone, it's been a couple years now. I think it wasn't the most expensive microphone, and I think it's just fucking up now. I think it's low sometimes it's super high, and it's low on the priority list trying to catch up on everything, getting back to work. But I think I need a new microphone. But he wants to like pretend like he doesn't want to talk about his mom, and we gotten into this tangent like kind of off of PTown, and PTown was getting bored, and he just come right out and say, "Hey, I want the attention. I want the attention on me, or I'm gonna fucking leave." And yeah, so we get back into his mom. Like, oh, I don't want to talk about my mom, but please, 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 can we talk about my mom? All right.
Just outside of my. I think this is just outside of what I care about right now.
Oh, okay.
I think I might go.
What did you boy, you PTown? Sorry.
What did you want to talk about, PTown?
You know, yeah.
What did you want to talk about then? Apparently, this is just your show.
I think it's because my mic sucks. I think because I've known for about 6 months I probably need a new mic.
I'm affluent in placebo effects and medicine, but I don't.
Are you sure you've got the right?
Affluent? I don't think affluent's not
affluent okay?
No, that's not the right word.
What's wrong with it?
Because
affluent means to be rich, wealthy.
Yeah, you're well off.
Or
well, you know, we can all be rich in different ways. You know,
no, that's not grammatically the correct word.
Well, I mean, I'm not
understanding
what you're saying. That's all.
Sorry, I'm fluent. Is fluent okay? Or
fluent. Well,
no,
yeah.
Is it still wrong?
No,
it's a little awkward.
Yeah, he's speaks a lot of
How about I keep
placebo.
bringing up? I'll just keep mentioning words here.
Well, what did you?
Knowledgeable. Knowledgeable in
but you have a working knowledge.
Respect.
Maybe you're encapsulated in them.
Are you just now making fun of my
encapsulated?
You've never heard
Not just you, Mark.
Okay, that wasn't bad.
I don't, you know, I should have for this my full screen up there because I can just show the shit full screen. Don't really need to stop it too much. But I mean, there you have it. Like he's just like totally like, you know, I'm bored, yo. I'm bored. You know, please talk about me. Let's talk about me. And of course, we're gonna start talking about his mom.
Actually, PTown.
That wasn't bad. Yeah. Well, I think it sounded silly. Hey, Leo.
I was gonna shave my head once I launched my channel one day and just do a little Mark Reed parody.
Oh, I'm
Instead
sorry.
of, I just need you to sign this form.
Like that's the bottom of the barrel.
I do actually.
All right, Pete-Town, we can definitely go back to you. You clearly want the attention again. I mean, this all did kind of start. You can maybe clarify for us.
Ouch! What a kick in the nuts. I'm gonna go. I love you guys.
Well, I was gonna say you could clarify for us, like how this all kind of started. Like why, how, what do you believe? To what extent can God heal you? Like what did you mean that everybody wasn't getting when we were talking about this with Mark?
I completely forgot this was about me somehow. I had no idea. I was just saying
to you that my meds were not decreased; they were increased because you said they were going to be decreased. Now, if you were praying,
I didn't say they were going to be decreased. I mean, I didn't say this. This is what the chat was saying during the time, and all this.
No, that's not. If you were praying for me at that moment, fine. But you still said those words. Still came out of your mouth. You still said them. You just might have said them in a different context than what we might be remembering. But you still said those words.
What you perceived, but.
It's not about perception. It's about reality and the words that actually came out of your mouth.
I'm asking you, clarify for all of us. And
we're asking for clarification.
Amy's been quiet for a while. Leo's here now. We got Trusty Ape. We've got Mark Reed. Flow State. Actually, I'm going to agree with Flow State with the whole thing he was just talking about, because if we make people just absolute socialism will make everybody's lives comfortable and stress free and fucking cure cancer. But so tell
it always has in the past.
Clarify, PTown.
I'm sure Russia got there with that.
What? How does God and healing? How are they intertwined? What did you mean when we were talking about it? And then we can go from there, and everybody can get involved.
Yeah, the freak. I was talking to you in side chat during that whole time. Yeah, see, even he remembers.
What?
The freak in the side chat.
The freak. You guys were talking together in the side chat.
That night that Knock and I had that one stream when we were talking.
Okay.
I was talking to you. Right? I was talking to you like this, and I was typing the freak in the side chat. I was talking to both of you.
You're a witch, right? Yes. My view on the whole situation is fringe. I have a mom.
That has nothing. Thank you. It has nothing to do with the witchcraft thing. This is about you.
It has a lot to do with it, though. I believe in some pretty crazy things as a Christian who has played a role in casting out demons. I love you. I care about you.
The demons thing. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but you guys took it to a whole nother level about how I say you don't get medicated.
I didn't say you said that, PTown.
Other people have. Other people.
But I didn't say you said that. I'm not other people.
Well, then stand up for me right here in front of everyone who's accusing me of this.
I'm talking to you right now. I'm not talking about them.
I didn't. Well, then we're done. I didn't say those things. Thank you.
You said those things.
Thank you. I didn't say those things.
I already gave you the context. I said if you said it in a different context.
I never said anything like you're gonna get less medication. Anything about medication.
I opened it up. You really like dumpster fires, so I opened it up for you to tell us what you said and what you meant, and all you did was everybody said this and that.
I'm medicating my lips with Burt's Beeswax lips balm.
Yay! That's what I'm
addicted. Yeah.
All right, so. I try to get him to clarify, and I even tell him there, right? We can just stay away from the mom shit, right? Just clarify what you mean, because he did in that stream straight up tell Marty that, he knows Jesus and he knows that she's gonna not need as much medication moving forward. He did make that statement. Marty immediately called him out for it, and he immediately started backtracking and one very long later that same fucking stream he started saying he never said that. It's no, you said it. Just kind of own it, and the moment we start calling you out for it, you start backtracking. And I'm going to watch a lot more of this because, we're just brimming the edges there, right? So I say stay away from the mom thing. But I think, I need to show a bit more of what happened last night. I see Mark Reed is in the side chat now. I really enjoyed your deconversion story, and I was fully planning on trying to join the after party. Like I had said earlier, it's been too long since I've been in a Neil 604 atheist after party. And high time, and yours would have been a good one to do. But then I saw Brett Keane streaming. I saw that they were having a Bible conversation. I'm like, I really think this conversation needs my attention. So I went over there and we had this great conversation until PTown came in. So I think I should show more of that for a while, because I've made this point over and over again, and PTown is it's so obvious. The little, your trolling is really obvious. You come in and you're like, I don't want to talk about my mom, but then let's talk about my mom for a while, right? And then you give us this the story about an exorcism, and you use words in relaying that story. I think I'm not even going to really show the worst part of it. Like I said, I think I probably could have went later in the stream we're watching and shown and found some worse parts. Maybe I'll do that today. Like I said, I got time. But I think I need to go back because, it's just this fake outrage. In fact, first let's go back to what it's all really about, right? So last night, I showed it. You're there, and I knew like the first time that I saw you publicly after seeing this, I was going to have a conversation with you, and I was going to ask you a very specific question. Now, me saying that your story about your mom being abusive, that's nothing new. This is something completely new. You made this statement, and the whole point of this last night was, and I already showed this part, and it's going to keep coming up though, is that, hey man, you made this really fucked up statement on Praise's stream. Do you want to clarify that fucked up statement you made on Praise's stream? Let's get a little closer to it. I'm going to 142.20, and I'm actually beyond it, right? 142.50. All right. Oh, there we go. So, I wanted to ask you about this. What are you talking about?
I think you're in the wrong stream, Numerous Man.
Why is Kent all about the money? That would be a good question to ask him.
Can I just follow my point before I get cut off?
You don't understand fact finding.
Before I get cut off this time, let's just say that this Chris dude actually did touch that guy's wiener with a paper towel. Let's just say that, and all of these bad things happen. Let me finish. Can I make my point before I get cut off? Is what I was asking. So let's assume that he did touch his wee with a paper towel, and all of you were just tremendously hurt by all of this. Does it still not pale in comparison compared to what Kent has done?
Wow, you're gonna make me sick.
So, I asked you about that, and you wanted to go straight to, oh my God, you hurt my feelings because you say I abused my mom and I loved my mom, and that's pretty much where I cut it off, right? I think it's important that we watch some more of what happened last night, just so you can see, like, just how, like, bad interlocutor, troll, just utterly insane, I don't know, off your fucking medication. Go talk to your psychologist and please get back on them. I don't know what the fuck your deal is, but I'm done with your shit, dude. And you're like in my side chat now, whining like a little bitch made PTown. It's really sad.
Right now, gentlemen.
I'm talking right now. You in that stream.
Gentlemen, can we do one at a time because I can't hear either one of you.
Do you mind if I finish, Brett?
He's
is
trying
that
to
okay?
give some sob story like I attacked his mother, which isn't the case. He came on my channel. And he kept going to this exorcism he performed on his mother. And after about 2 hours of talking about it, it was really fucking weird. And finally, I was like, dude, you know what? Enough of this. The story that you're describing right here describes a person that's extremely mentally ill. That you're talking about. You performed some exorcism. You spoke to a demon that was your mother. Like what you did was abusive. I gave you my opinion on it, and I will stand by that opinion. I find that highly problematic. I find it abusive, and I don't like you much.
Well, didn't PTown just a moment ago say that he was he was just a babe in Christ? He was just starting out and thought there might be some issue.
Like he literally told me he was talking to a demon, but Brett, he was talking to his mom. Right, like it's go listen to the stream.
Anyway, for you to go to a separate stream and say that I'm a woman abuser and that I abused my mom and these types of connotations are uncalled for.
Yeah,
and you should.
Abuse.
Yeah, you go ahead. You're saying
maybe don't go around telling that stupid story. Then, if you don't want people,
you push it out of me all the time.
Yeah, I think it's important. We'll keep going back to that as we get through this. Just to kind of, like this gaslighting motherfucker. So, like, you're going to come in, just gaslight, just the entire night. Like, I think I put up with it for about 45, 50 minutes of just straight gaslighting, not wanting to fucking answer a very simple question about some really fucked up shit you said, you really sick fucking person, you. like that's some fucked up shit you said on that stream. Trolling, not trolling, it doesn't matter. You said it. That's some fucked up shit you said on that stream. And I asked you, and you don't want to talk about it. You want to talk about this. So let's talk about this. Because I find your story about your mom to be exactly what I just told you last night to yourself. So you're going to go around saying I'm being mean and, talking behind your back. And no, this is the epitome of not talking behind your back. All right. So let's get back to, your bullshit, dude. This is your bullshit. You said I did this, but this is your bullshit.
No.
That's the rule.
Believe it'll work.
Did you just mention casting out demons? Can I hear more about that?
I bet you would love. We've already talked about this, Mark.
I haven't heard about it.
Demons are
By
boring.
the time it goes around a few atheists, I'll be on the balcony of a chapel somewhere.
Christ compels you.
Just like Christ compels you, or I'm gonna drop you, or you're
the young priest. Okay, yeah.
By the time it goes through a few people, who knows what's gonna happen?
Well, as long as you're not projectile vomiting, I mean, cool.
Or turning your head like 360 back and forth.
It wouldn't, trust me, it wouldn't be me doing those things.
And it's not going to be me either.
And I mean, I've debated people that
it'll probably be one of the drunk people.
Like do exorcisms kind of thing. I debated this guy who said he did exorcisms, and it was just wild. It was fascinating.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did exorcisms on like physical things.
Yeah, so it's it's coming back to me now. So you
I remember seeing that, Mark.
Didn't you pretty much make the claim that Jesus healed your mom? Didn't you make that claim?
No.
Okay, that sounds like an opening to it.
And that's something like that's a stream because I try to go through the stream with Marty, like skip through it and try to find like where P Mars was starting to get into that shit, and I just couldn't get into it. And I knew I had a better idea of where it was in this stream, and I knew that this stream was just chock full of it, right? Like this stream right here was really the one that led me. Like I said, later on in the stream, I think that's when I really say to PTown, like, dude, everybody's being super generous to you. I'm not. Like, I think you're either lying, or if you're not lying, you're an abusive fuck, right? So, like, this is the stream, so I knew I'd have an easier time finding it here, and I found this. Again, my microphone is extremely low, so you're not going to, it's going to be hard to hear me compared to everybody else. That's something I need to really look at, try to fix until I can get a new microphone. But I'm going to be doing this kind of throughout this, because like PTown, like you fucked up. You should have just let it be last night. Like, especially like I know that I knew about the statements, right? Like, that. And if you know me well enough, like if you come into a room I'm in, I'm going to ask you about it. I'm going to call you out for it. That's just like talk about predictability and like one of the most predictable things ever. Like that's going to fucking happen, right? So, but yeah, let's just continue with it, I guess. I've got all day.
Good joke. I just have to put that out there.
You committed an exorcism on her, right?
Committed?
I don't know.
Exorcised a
I
demon
communicated and I got some demons out.
Yes. And this is, and
it wasn't me doing it though. It's not my power.
This is the flickering light and the doorbell ringing, and demons trying to stop you from saving.
You asked me for the evidence behind it and why I actually believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first sign.
Evidence so she can reduce her meds.
I do. Look, I'm a skeptical person. I'm not insane. Okay, I have evidence for it.
I just want to bring the conversation up now and listen to the conversation.
I don't. It always comes up, Mark. It always comes up, and I don't like talking about it because it's weird. I get it. It's cringe, but it's the truth. I try to be honest with people. If they ask me about it, it's true.
How many demons have you cast out of people?
I don't know. It's hard to count. But mostly it's just my mom. Yeah.
It's hard to.
Is it at all possible, PTown, that maybe your mom had some mental illness?
Oh, she's had mental illness her entire life. Yeah.
Right. So mental illness isn't caused by demons.
Well, and there's been
coming from a witch. I'm not gonna take that seriously, Marty.
Because my dad has mental illness on my dad's side of the family, my biological mother's side of the family, and none of them practice or study witchcraft and or pagan. Matter of fact, my dad went to Catholic school, and in South America he went to Catholic school, so that's when the nuns can whack the shit out of you. And my abuela killed herself when my dad was 12.
Yeah,
so
and we could definitely.
Well, I wish I could have been there.
Everybody will have mental illness.
Everybody has. I mean, there's some people have some screwy stuff to some degree. I'm sorry, not I'm cutting you off. My bad.
I just real quick, and we can keep it to a more general. I mean, you've cast out too many to count now, so it doesn't have to be the weird, creepy conversation about your mom and shit. It can just be like a conversation about demons and how you cast them out, and this verification. I guess that you have that. All right, so again, like I'm really trying. Let me look at it. So, PTown, if you're in the side chat still, I really hope you see. Like I'm really trying hard this time not to go back to that fucked up place you took us in the first conversation, right? Like we can keep it away from the really weird fucking conversation about your mom, but like I think. You notice he said he's cast out too many demons to count, but then he said, and I don't think I caught it because I was trying to talk and my microphone's super low, and I'm not aware that my microphone's super low. Then he says, but like, and I think he said, because I was trying to talk too, even listening to it, like I can hear myself trying to talk. I think he said, but they were all in my mom. So too many to count. But they were all in one person, his mom. So we're talking about an exorcism of countless demons on his own fucking mother. So let's continue. That demons are real, that they exist, and that there is some healing element. I do implicitly remember within that conversation of God is able to heal people. Because you knew that for a fact because you participated in it.
I don't know. I'm still resentful a little bit because she's not healed. And
who, me or your mom?
Marty.
I'm sorry. Again,
we can talk about you another time. I don't know how you stay so young looking.
I drink water. I drink water and take naps.
I know.
It's all the witchy stuff.
It's the demons.
I've actually listened to your advice.
I'm listening to your advice,
and
don't you know if she tells you it breaks the spell? I mean, why are you asking?
I'm not stress free. I take
this isn't the stage to have this. I can't even have the conversation that I experience with when it comes to, with Christians. So something I experience, I think, is very few. And I'm not trained to deal with it, so it's something I did because the medical community was failing my mom and still is, and it's only the most extreme phase where you got nothing to lose anyway, and it has worked, but minimally.
Why is the medical field failing your mom?
Healthcare in this country sucks.
Oh, hold on, just
yeah. So my mom has well, it depends. Well, anytime you're dealing with any illness, Leo, it's not so much like just getting cured. It's about weighing the cost benefits, right? Like it's cost benefit analysis. You're gambling. You're trying to say what's more riskier than the other thing. My family. I grew up in a family where we're all medical, 100%. We trust the doctors. It's always been that way.
What does it mean you're all medical? I don't.
So there's Christian families where I live, like on my wife's side now, where they'll favor maybe a naturopath instead of a doctor.
This isn't really answering my question, though. I just want to know why you're saying that the doctors in the medical field has failed your mom.
My mom has severe. She's severely bipolar. She'll go on manic episodes, but she's also got schizophrenia. Right now, at her best, which is right now, she's talking to other people in another realm. Maybe in the same way Marty does sometimes.
No, don't tell me what I'm talking to or I'm not talking to.
I don't know. Maybe I'm on.
All right. So this is all going to be relevant, right? So he last night comes into Brett Keen's stream and plays all butthurt and you do me wrong, right? But this is all relevant, right? You came on my stream and you gave this story, this really fucked up story. So I'm like, dude, let's just keep it away from the weird mom shit. But you didn't, because it's what you want to talk about, right? Like, man, all right, stop eating the microphone. It's what you want to talk about. This is your great supernatural event, right? This is your proof of God's existence. When I asked you the first time and you come out with this story about these fucking demons and lights flickering and doorbells ringing and shit. At one point in what we're watching, you're going to make this reference to Emily Rose, which is very disturbing, and I'm going to have to break it down. Hopefully I don't miss it. It's possible I'll miss it. If I miss it, then I'll just break down Emily. Her real name's not Emily Rose, but the story, like you've seen the movie, and I think that you probably, I don't know, came up with this fantasy in your head of a similar situation to yourself, to where you're some supernatural person that can take your mom's mental illness away. In the first stream, you did clearly say that Jesus saved her, helped her. You say that your mom's not religious, but then you describe instances where you clearly say that she was religious. Like none of it's believable. None of it kind of really tracks once you break it down, once you actually listen to the bullshit you're saying. It's very inconsistent, which is pretty much indicating that you're lying. But you want to come into the stream last night and just gaslight the fuck out of me, not answer my question, I literally like gave you the chance to kind of clarify that really fucked up shit you said. I mean, I thought I was being a decent human being in doing so. I could have just went rage on you right from the get. But I gave you a chance to clarify and all that shit, and you just want to play the victim card. Go fuck yourself, PTown. You disingenuous little prick.
Here, but yeah, I know Rage didn't want to talk about your story too specifically, but I was going to ask earlier how.
And yes, Mark Reed, yes.
You would differentiate between a mental health disorder.
I don't like talking
we'll go
about
back
this,
to it, but how are you going to differentiate between a mental health disorder and demonic possession?
If I'm going to answer my question before we move on to another one.
I don't think
I've already
pressure PTown into talking about personal stuff. I think.
Well, I don't like talking about it, but I just want some respect when I talk about it. It's my mom. Like, I love my mom.
I'm not hating on you. We're not hating on you.
You know, because you talk to everyone too with my mom. Just joking, Marty.
No,
But
I don't have schizophrenia.
Marty knows what I'm talking about.
I have mental illness issues, so I know what you're talking about, but I don't have those kind of issues. And my heart breaks for your mom.
So,
go ahead.
So where I got real evidence for it was when my mom, her physical abilities changed, her linguistics changed, her knowledge changed. So there was things that she couldn't physically do before, couldn't stay before in a certain way, and her knowledge changed that she didn't know before. Things that only I could personally know and can't prove to you. And in this way, I know that happened. And even to this day, even after it happened, I still challenge myself. And it's hard for me to believe. What Rage likes to continually refer to is after all these things happened, with the exorcism or whatever you want to call it that I performed in the name of Jesus, his power, not mine, you have things distracting from it when it comes to flickering lights, doorbells ringing. The point is the objective person that I am.
All right, so notice that he does that, right? So, and in the first stream, he did bring up this, and I there was this moment where I was like, wait, and it is what I remember from the first stream, so I didn't remember from the first stream until Marty had mentioned it, about the whole Jesus saved my mom thing, which is a completely inconsistent thing because no, he didn't, and PTown admits it in different breaths. And he says he never said that. He says that he never spoke to Marty about her medications. He clearly did. Like, the thing that I remembered was because he had made this statement, like, he knows demons are real. And I was like, prove to me that demons are real. Like, how do you know demons are real? And he talked about, he said he did this exorcism on his mom. I mean, I'm being general and kind of breaking it down here, but, and that the lights started flickering and the doorbell rang and his dad looked out and there were kids across the street, but there was nobody there. And that was his proof of demons. So that's what I remember that really stuck out. And but it was like, it was a couple hours at least of bullshit. That's just what stuck out to me of that particular conversation, of the many, many, many numerous conversations I've had at this point. It's the problem with me is that I've done too many of these things, and I did a lot of them when I was drunk, so my memory's fucked. But I haven't been drinking for a good, I should have probably kept count, because I'm not even sure how long it's been now. It's like I don't really even think about it. I mention it often though.
I can't. I want to say it wasn't real, but the evidence says otherwise. It happened, and that's all true.
That's all great, but that doesn't tell me why you're saying that the medical field failed your mom.
Well, she's still schizophrenic.
So PTown, I want to.
So my mom in England, she was shocked with shocked with electricity. So that's what happens when you have if you become bipolar, she'll go on little rampages, and then when they finally find her, they'll shock. It's electric shock therapy. That's something that has quote unquote worked for her a few times, but that's only extreme cases. So my mom's among one of the most extreme cases. You have 30 some odd years of lithium, paroxetine, the whole entire cocktail of drugs, and trying to figure out the right stuff. We found the right stuff for many years. There was other good things going for her. About 2 years ago, well, I guess 6 years ago, she had another episode. Drugs weren't working, changed her drugs. There's other consequences. You have a different Medicare system.
Yeah, I was wrong, Will. Dude, I'm looking at my notes just in this stream, and I'm going to flip back to the Brett Keane stream a couple times still. He's given some nuance, and he's kind of starting here, but he's going to go in deeper at around 4. So in about 13 minutes, he's going to go deeper. And at 4 hours and 45 minutes, we're going to hear about his psychology degree. So yeah, I still got a ways to go. So yeah, I lied. I'm so bad with that shit. I'm gonna be doing this for a couple hours. PTown, you really fucked up last night. You really fucked up last night. You should have just answered the fucking question, and then we could have moved on. Never would have had to talk about your mom again. You could have said what Will implied at the very beginning. I was just really fucking with praise the whole night, and I would have gave you shit. And then maybe I would have went later in that stream, because Will's talking later in that stream. I guess P-Town kind of goes at praise a little bit. I don't know. But from what I took it, motherfucker was being genuine as fuck. He was defending Hovind a lot leading up to that point. Pretty much every chance he could get, attacking Julia and Nick. And then he made a really fucked up statement. He could have clarified that statement. He could have said, I spoke in the moment and I realized it was a really fucked up thing I said. And, I fully take it back and fuck that. I'm not with that shit. But he didn't choose to do that. He chose to go talk about how evil I am for talking about this shit, right? So yeah, I've got a long ways to go. And I want to go back to the Brett Keane thing, because he gaslighted me so hardcore last night. And it's just like a big fuck you, dude. And it's like the first time I left in a stream using fuck. I'm gonna go fuck yourself, you evil fucking piece of shit. It's the first time I've done that in a while. I wasn't even drunk.
It gets complicated, Leo. You have a couple of years ago, she had lithium poisoning finally, so she can't take that anymore, but she's on another drug that's doing okay, but she's talking to people all the time. And when I convince her, it's still consistent with what the Bible, how the Bible describes. other demons, other dimensions, and she willfully wants to talk to them. If you have Christ, if you don't want to, and you have Christ, they won't bother you, but you have to willfully ask them in.
I mean, why are they bad necessarily?
Just from my experience, it depends on how you define bad. From the ones that I've talked to personally, when I was getting them out, some of them seem to be really evil.
Some of them seem to be really evil. Are you like picking up? I mean, are you hearing? Like, he's talking about his mom. Dude is fucking talking about his mom. Right? And he's in the side chat right now. Like, I simply asked you to stop talking about mom. Dude, you're the one that's talking about your mom on my fucking stream. Let's go back a little bit. Let's hear this shit again, man. I asked you a question about the shit you said on Praise's channel. We're going to go back to that.
Like how the Bible describes other demons, other dimensions, and she willfully wants to talk to them. If you have Christ, if you don't want to, and you have Christ, they won't bother you, but you have to willfully ask them in.
I mean, why are they bad necessarily?
Just from my experience, it depends on how you define bad. From the ones that I've talked to personally, when I was getting them out, some of them seem to be really evil. Some of them seem to be really nice, but they all share something in common. They don't want to be disembodied. So they seek people with characteristics like my mom because it's easy to deceive them and get in them. I know how crazy I sound, people, but I'm just trying to be honest with you. This is the truth.
Yeah, that sounds like the guy who's at the bar every Saturday night.
Is your mother religious at all?
My mom is not, no.
No. Okay. So what does she say it is then? What does she?
Now notice and this is like the confusing thing, and I'm gonna actually go back because we're gonna. Mark's gonna do what Mark does and really try to find out. And the thing was, like, I just don't believe him. You know, at this point, I'm to the point I just don't believe him. But he's in one breath he says that his mother's not religious, right? But like, he just got done talking about all these demons, and she speaks to demons, and she speaks to these demons, and some of these demons are evil, and like, but she's not religious, right? And that's the very confusing thing, because if the story's true, from what I gather, she's a multiple, right? Flow State's gonna break it down at some point near the end of this, but that would be the diagnosis. She's a multiple. That iterates itself in several different ways, but it usually stems from some sort of brain damage, often caused by some very traumatic childhood event or series of events. It's a form of displacement and disassociation. I'm not a psychologist, but I did just watch this really interesting documentary about the woman that really was the pioneer of this diagnosis. Fascinating stuff, especially her compassion for her patients in the wake of them doing sometimes very, very horrible things. I just found very inspiring. It's a really good documentary on HBO Max. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really good. It's worth the time. But that's essentially what he's describing here, right? So she's not talking to demons. He says she is, and according to his story, he reacts to that. But she's talking to like real people, if it's true. And he'll reference that. Like, people like some are dead, like Leonardo da Vinci. Some are alive, and it's just, and she thinks they're real, but they're demons, and But then he does make reference to like, well, she's not religious at all. My dad's super not religious. My dad's never been religious. But then he'll say like during this event, his dad became a believer. Sometimes he says that. Sometimes he'll stick to the my dad's never been religious thing. And he'll often talk about his mother's religion and her like pretty much always there's been this like religious connotations around her mental illness. So they're really careful to stay away from religion because in her childhood, this and that. And it's all like none of it's really consistent. There's just so many red flags that just go up from every single part of his story. And again, like maybe I'm especially sensitive to this. Will Kincaid is in the side chat, and he did go on a 1.5 year long campaign against me, and he's probably the best at it. PTown is an amateur. So I'm very sensitive to it, and I think that I just pick up on it where others don't. But to me, I've just got red flags of flying throughout his entire fucking story. I don't believe a single fucking word of it. But if what he says is true, I definitely think it's abusive. And as we go through this, he's going to describe, like, he's already described, like, she's probably one of the most sick mental people you could be, like, to the point that they still do electric shock therapy. We're going to get into that later. But I do want to go back to the Brett Keane thing, because this all stems, like, he's trying to, once again, play the victim card. But he came into Brett Keane's chat when we were having a fucking good conversation. And as soon as I got my chance, I knew it was going to happen. I was going to ask him about the defense of Chris Jones and the defense of Kent Hovind and just this really awful thing he said, because I knew he said it. I had highlighted it, that he said it. And somehow it's back to his mom. So let's go back to that for a second. Let's go back to that for a minute. Fuck it, why not? And yeah, we're still got to talk about Annalise Michelle. But I haven't heard it yet. I don't think you guys have heard it yet. Like, it's just going to get cray-cray. It's going to get cray-cray. Yeah, but don't gaslight people. You should have just left it alone, dude. Stayed away from me. Like, you should know me good enough by now that, like, as soon as I highlighted that statement, I was going to call you out on it. If you didn't want to answer it, should have never came in a room with me. And I gave you an opportunity, and you didn't take the opportunity to at least lie your way out of it. It's kind of fucking pathetic. You wanted to do what we're going to watch you do, so let's watch.
Why do you always push it out?
You offer it. I don't push it out of you.
I will answer anyone's questions. I have nothing to hide.
All right. Well, can I hear from P-Town's mouth?
All right, so right there, like, I should have let it play the last time a little bit longer, because, like, he's like, I don't want to talk about my mom, but I will answer any questions anybody has for me.
I'd like to hear what his story is. If you feel like you need to pass on it, I understand. This isn't Jeopardy where I'm going to force people to answer my questions, but would you like to share what your perception is on this?
I usually don't like to share, but if I'm pressed on it, I will, because I'm an honest man and I'll tell you the truth. But what I was pressing him on is the fact that he would go behind my back and say that I abused my mom, which is absolutely ridiculous, Brett. Like, it's uncalled for.
Why do you think he believes that for?
Well, I can see from his atheistic perspective, me talking to somebody.
Me doing it publicly is not going behind your back.
So what happened, P-Town?
So my mom has schizophrenia.
So he's going behind my back. Like, no, dude, I literally said the shit to you in stream. You're like, well, that's not going behind your back, right? Like, no, I say it to you. I say it to your face, and I say it publicly. Yeah, it's my opinion. If your story's true, you're an abusive fuck. You're abusive as fuck. But, like, this is, like, I think we're going to start getting into, the watered down version he gave to Brett and the Muslim guy last night. And the Muslim guy, had come in to have a really good conversation, and we did for the longest time. It was awesome. Like, I'd like to talk to him again, but I know, like, he's going to trap me philosophically at some point and piss me off. But it was a nice dude, and it was a good conversation. We started as allies and then kind of got a little combative there. It was pretty cool. But P-Town came in and the shit hit the fan. So now he's going to get this, like, really watered down version of the other thing that I'm doing simultaneously, because I'm all fucked up like that. I'm going to go back and forth to just confuse the audience, because why not? But this, the this is what I'm going to do. Like, this is like, as I considered the stream today, I'm like, should I just show all of the Brett Keane thing first, make it linear, and then do like, let's go back and watch what he actually said thing. Like, that's kind of how I would normally handle this. And I'm like, nah, fuck it. Let's make it chaotic. Let's be the chaos of PTown himself. And I think it's doing a pretty good job because he's in the side chat playing the victim. So I'm digging that. I'm digging it because, you know, like, dude, you did this. Like, you wanted to, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Your like little manic thing you got going on with this mom troll of yours.
Yeah. It depends on which country you're in, whatever diagnosis you want to call it. Bipolar disorder. Like, she spent most of the time in the mental institution when I was little, and she's just not well. And
so you were a young man whenever you did what you felt.
So there was a point where my mom relapsed when I wasn't around. I was just coming out of college, and I was an atheist until a little bit after I came out of college. But anyway, she went through the hospitals and all that stuff, and still to this day, guys, she's not doing so well. She still talks to another realm, or she's just sick, whichever thing you want to call it. At that time, though, I did ask for these things to come out of her in the name of Jesus, and I experienced some things, and that's why because when you get to that point when the doctors give up on you, everyone else gives up on you, right? The whole medical community gives up on you. It's your thing to deal with. You got.
So it's like this boohoo thing. Oh my God, I'm such a victim. But remember now, again, and people are losing sight. And Brett wasn't around when I initially made the comment, and I think it made the Muslim dude. I can't remember his name, and I feel bad for calling him the Muslim dude. But I think it made him like really super uncomfortable. But I had good reason for making the comment because I knew as soon as I saw PTown, I had to ask him the question. And we're going to show it again. This is going to be the third time I'm fucking showing this shit right here on this stream because this is what's fucking important. This is the question everybody needs to clarify with PTown, not this crazy, crazy shit with his fucking mom, because that's just his way to try to like play the victim so he doesn't have to answer this question. We need to ask him, like, PTown, like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck is up with this shit?
What are you talking about?
I think you're on the wrong stream, Numerous Man.
Why is Kent all about the money? That would be a good question to ask him.
Can I just follow the money before I get cut off?
You don't understand fact finding.
Before I get cut off this time, let's just say that this Chris dude actually did touch that guy's wiener with a paper towel. Let's just say that, and all of these bad things happen. Let me finish. Can I make my point before I get cut off? Is what I was asking. So let's assume that he did touch his wee with a paper towel, and all of you were just tremendously hurt by all of this. Does it still not pale in comparison compared to what Kent has done?
Wow, you're gonna make me sick.
I'm probably going to get the channel flag for just playing that so many fucking times. But that's like the question. I started it off with that. As soon as Brett went to take a leak and he didn't want to answer, he wanted to take it back to his mom. That's why I'm sitting here replaying an open room that I had about a month ago, because he wants to like really water it down and pretend like I did some great harm. Like, you say I abused my mom when you come into my stream, motherfucker, for like 6 hours twice and give us this sob story about how you abused your mom. So yeah, it's a Sunday. I don't have to work today. If I'm going to stream today, let's do it early. And hey, why not make it a Whopper since I'm trying to quit smoking after I finish this little bit of pipe tobacco I got left. I probably should have waited till then. I'd have been like really angry at that point. At this point, it's just like, fuck you, dude. Let's expose you. Let's show you for what you are, because you're not nothing to take seriously. That's the question people should ask you. You come into anybody's rooms, Christian or atheist alike, you need to clarify that shit. That should be the first thing they ask you. And if they're not aware of it, hopefully some people in the side chat or in the room are aware of it, and they can fucking ask you the question that needs to be asked, because that's some really fucked up shit you said in that room with praise, dude. There's just no way around it. Let's watch a little bit more of this.
Got nothing to lose. So when you just pray in the name of Jesus and crazy things happen, it's the truth. Lights start flickering.
I have absolutely nothing against what you're telling me so far. I don't know if I've heard the whole story from.
It's the same story as Rage has heard.
I don't know if you know this. I've talked about this in video, but my mother suffered from mental illness until the point where she committed suicide, and she was hearing voices, talking to the radio, doing all kinds of unusual.
You said your mom?
Yeah, she ended up getting put in a home, one of those residential treatment centers, because she couldn't take care of herself.
Refill my coffee. I'll be right back.
Unfortunately, the nurses weren't paying attention. They put out some insulin for a diabetic. She got a hold of him, went to her room, and overdosed on it.
Yeah. So I come in like
you felt you needed to pray.
I come in 4 generations of committing suicide. All I was doing was praying for it, and then crazy stuff started to happen.
Yeah, why do you call it an exorcism for?
Just because that's what happened. When you have the authority of Christ, these things have to leave, and they usually provide a sign that they're leaving. In this case, doorbell was ringing. The lights were flickering.
What I'm asking you, brother, is there's a difference between praying. Obviously, the media has overblown exorcisms and movies and television shows. Are we talking about levitation? We talking about puking across the room? What happened?
So there was a time on the bed when she was physically doing stuff that I could imagine my mom being capable of. Besides the different languages she was speaking around me, there's lots of things that she was doing that I know only as a son of hers that she's not capable of doing. And then.
What were the?
Yeah, it's the truth.
What were the?
I have no idea.
How do you know they were actual languages, not just babbling incoherently?
I guess it's speculation, but I'm a pretty smart man, so I think sometimes you can tell if there's another language going on.
My mother, whenever she was having one of her manic episodes, she would go on deranged spills. I couldn't understand what was coming out of her.
All right, so we get the poor woe is me watered down version. Let me see. I still got a ways to go in that. And I know at some point, like, even if I have to skip there, I definitely want to show, like, me just being like, dude, you're a sick fuck, and why'd you say that sick shit? And fuck you, I'm out, I'm going to bed. Go to bed, knock! It was only like 12 o'clock, though. That's like my late bedtime. That's why I really don't like doing open rooms. I get so fucking, I don't know, like, into the conversation, and I don't want to be the one stopping it, right, at 12 o'clock at night. So I'll just go, and I just can't do that shit. You know, when I'm drinking myself to sleep, I can do that shit. But when I'm not, it's not a good thing. I'm going to wake up super early, and I'm going to be useless the next day. So I really want to make open rooms a rarity, and I'm bad at open rooms, because I should go back and rename them, say who was in the open room, what the open room was about, the different topics. So when these instances come up, it's not like trying to find a needle in the haystack, and I got to go and find where this happened when. If I'm going to do it, I should have better documentation of the shit as it's happening. So, when these fucked up moments that seem to happen in these open rooms happen, and these fucked up people come in with their fucked up stories, I know which stream to go to. So when I'm in a different stream and I'm referencing it, and he's giving some watered down fucking bullshit version, it's not like, hey, go find a needle in a haystack on my channel. It's, hey, go to this timestamp at this very particular video and you'll fucking know the truth. But I'm just not that good at it. So I want to have really structured conversations where that happens naturally. To stay away from the open room so much. So, we're getting the watered down version from Brett for a little while. So I want to go back to, one of the many versions that I got on my channel, because this is what PTown stick is. It's what he wants to talk about. He wants to talk about his fucking mom and how she's so fucking demon possessed. And like I said, we are still a long ways away from his psychology degree, right? Psychology degree.
Claim that it is
actual people talking to her.
Actual people. So she thinks she's talking to real people, but those people aren't there, kind of thing.
And when she's talking to someone who's alive, actually, she'll say that she's talking to someone who's actually still alive. Sometimes it could be Leonardo da Vinci,
Nice.
I'm so sorry to hear that. PTown. That's not, as far as I know, and I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but that's not unusual for schizophrenics to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I totally agree, Pat. I totally agree. It's. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, but PTown is
sort of delusions.
It's hard to describe
or what's there, or who they're talking to, or people being there that aren't there, kind of thing. But I'm so sorry to hear that. And I mean, electroshock hasn't been done, as far as I know, in my country for years. They changed to
it's brutal.
Probably still, they'll only do it for the most extreme cases when it comes to being bipolar.
All right, so we are into like the electroshock part of it, and so like that's part of the context, right? So, his mom isn't just somebody with bipolar disease, and a touch of schizophrenia alongside of it. He's describing one of the worst cases. Still getting like electroshock therapy on certain parts of the brain. I really need to look into. I'm not sure if that's even really still legal anymore. But maybe, if his story is true, he'd know better than me. But again, I don't believe his story. But this is like one of the worst cases, right? One of the worst of the worst. So you got to take that into context when he starts talking about the demons. And we've already heard of the countless demons he's exorcised. And then I pointed it out. It kind of sounded like he said all of them were in his mom. At one point he said that, his mom is talking like real people, like people that are dead, Leonardo da Vinci. But then in the next breath, he's describing all these demons she's talking to. All right, let's continue.
I didn't realize they did it at all anymore.
They'll still do it even in America.
That's fucked up.
But only for the most extreme. It's the last resort.
I mean, it's lobotomy. It's not.
All right.
No, it's not lobotomy.
It's not lobotomy. Lobotomy,
We don't.
chip out a piece of your brain.
Let me jump in.
I don't
here
think we
real
do
quick.
lobotomies anymore in any case.
All right,
No, definitely not.
On the state.
Let me jump in here real quick because, earlier I said, let's try to stay away from the weird mom thing. And it's weird for a reason because, he pretends like he doesn't want to talk about this shit, but this is his entire thing he wants to talk about. So,
screw you, Rage. I just try to be honest all the time. I try to be honest all the time. So don't screw yourself.
So you just made the claim once again, and we called you out for this bullshit the last time, that your mom was not religious, and yet you
suck it, Rage. I don't want to talk about my mom.
You sit here and claim that at the same time that she talks to demons, that she describes like hell. I'm remembering clearly from that conversation that you told us that she believes that Jesus has saved her or some shit. You talk about
See,
it like,
this is where it gets you don't even know what you're talking about, Ray. You have an agenda every time you get on like this.
It's honestly
you have an agenda every time. You have an agenda every time. You don't really care. You pretend.
Very fucking odd.
You pretend. You're a
pretender,
Rage.
Is this?
So like this fake butthurt, like I think this stream is like a month old, 3 weeks ago. So yes, it's about a month old. Like the fake butthurt has been going on for a while here, right? So the fake butthurt that I experienced last night, and that I'm showing, kind of flipping back to, that happened on Brett Keen's channel last night. It's been going on for about 3 weeks. Like here, as he's going on and on and on about his mom, and I have clearly tried to keep the conversation away from it, but he just insists. When I bring it up, when I actually start calling him out for some of the things that he's saying, and my microphone's lower than everybody's, like he just talks over me the entire time, and like eat it rage and fuck you and false outrage, and yeah.
Can I ask a question after you answer Mark?
You can ask me anything. I'll be honest with you.
Have you said in the past that your mother believes in demons and hell and all of this kind of stuff? Is that true?
She most recently asked me if I could come back to Texas, and then she thinks that she has demons. This is a new thing.
All right, so now it's a recent thing. It's a new thing. I think at one point earlier in this, but it could be in another one, he does reference... or maybe it was in the Brett Keen stream last night, and we'll get there eventually, maybe if I don't skip it. he referenced that she believed when she was younger. Like all these red flags, inconsistencies in the story. The story changes so fucking much.
And I haven't, because there's a huge measure of me where it's like, go see the doctors.
Just a little bit ago, you were talking about how she would describe demons and hell to you, and it'd be like fucking accurate. And
go screw yourself, Rage. You always like do this.
You just said that.
He
did.
I said what I said, but like you always want to just twist and turn things and stretch it and attack me, and it's unacceptable.
Let's just break it down here, because you said that also that her knowledge changed and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about? That she had a change in personality to someone that did believe in demons? And
it wasn't actually to me. It was to my dad that she mentioned that, and my dad, who is the biggest skeptic in the world, which breaks my heart because I love my dad so much. He's the one who Oh no, my dad. The fact that I've told you before, I grew up where my mom was kind of religious in a way, but kind of more. But she's also not mentally well. And then I had.
All right, so right there it is. What I just said, right? So he just said, no, she was never religious until like this recent thing where she started mentioning demons, and I needed to come like give an exorcism or some shit. But then here again, like 3 breaths later. Oh, when he was younger, his mom was religious. Like, dude, get your story straight.
My dad, he would teach me about science and teach me about the stars, teach me about how far they were, speed of light, all that stuff. The tough questions: why is the moon in the sky? This is me going back when I was little, right? Still the person that I am now. My mom was like, "Go ask your dad." For my dad to tell me that he wants me to come do an exorcism is a little different, because my dad is he won't even listen to me at all when I want to show him the proofs in the Bible that it breaks my heart that my dad won't ever listen to me. There's something about, and even the Bible describes that people.
All right, so we just got that, and it breaks my heart. He won't even listen to me about the Bible. But then, like, there's been other times when he's told the story that I like called him out, and he'll say like, well, no, my dad, like that, during this experience, I still haven't heard the Emily Rose reference yet, so hopefully I haven't missed that, because that's important. But during this experience, his dad became a believer. Like, there's different things, man. It's just, oh, God, all of it's, like, I don't believe any of it. Like, you're all butthurt that I say that if your story's true, you're abusive towards your mother. You should be actually butthurt because I don't think your story's true. Because I have reason. Like, it's so bad. All right. I'll try to stop interrupting my own shit. I don't have to.
There's a separation between fathers and sons, and it really does upset me.
The Bible usually portrays the fathers as saving the sons, not the other way around. And it sounds like you're describing like just an opposite story. And it does seem kind of convenient that you're saying your mother's turning to the faith as you're the one preaching the gospel to her, right? Like in her time of despair.
See, this is where you're misunderstanding. She's not turning to the faith at all. She's got other stuff going on that's the opposite.
But you said more recently she started speaking about possessions and stuff like that.
Marty would probably be able to answer this better than me, because she might know since she's on the oppositional side.
Huh?
That's partly a joke, Marty.
I was going to say.
My wife. So Dana, or sorry. This is
he did just quite clearly say that.
Too much for me right now. I apologize.
Did you just confuse your wife's name with some other one?
I got my wife's name mixed up with Marty and mixed up with my mom, but it's because I'm.
Is your wife right beside you?
No, I heard her, but I'm getting just a little emotional about it.
I have a quick question, PTown, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Isn't it all possible that your mom's never believed in the faith or anything like that at all? Was she an atheist or agnostic or any of that? Did you grow up religious, or did you find?
All right, so I'm gonna skip forward to my next note. It's only a few minutes, but yeah, this is gonna be like 3 hours if I don't. So, we're gonna go to about here, I think. No, back. Damn it, stupid mouse, right there. Skip forward to this part.
Well, and she would just like, she would go to another country and she'd be like, "Hi, I'm here. Deal with it." And they'd be like,
Right.
"That's."
And that's kind of what happened with my mom. She would run, and then the authorities would catch her, and then, you know.
So they were trying to get her.
Well,
my mom even now, just to clarify, is not a Christian. So I know that everyone wants to tie her into being religious now. She's not.
I never said your mom was a Christian. I'm saying, due to your Christianity and your belief in demons and possessions and such, is it possible that with her mental illness, you might have fed into that a little bit for her?
No, it's not, because I don't do that. I wish I could, but I don't bring anything like that up with her because of her mental illness. Because a huge part of me is still very, very cognizant of the possibility that religion may have played a role in her.
You don't tell her that she's possessed? Or that she has demons? Or that you're going to cast the demons out for her?
When it came to that event, this was 5-6 years ago, it was to a point where you wouldn't know if you're talking to my mom or not. This wasn't like... This was something you would see in a movie. This is something like you saw in Emily Rose, is what I witnessed.
Here we go.
And no one's going to ever believe me unless they...
All right, so you're going to come into Brett Keen's stream last night, and get all offended because I have stated that by the story you've given me, that you was abusive towards your mother, and you just laid it out right there. You used the descriptor Emily Rose. Now, Emily Rose refers to the movie, but the movie is referring to an actual case, Annalise Michaud. She was a German woman. She went through 67 Catholic exorcism rites, 67, during the year before her death. She died of malnutrition, for which her parents and the priest who was doing the exorcism was convicted of negligent homicide. She was diagnosed with epileptic psychosis, temporal lobe epilepsy, and had a history of psychiatric treatment that proved ineffective. Now, again, this would have been before the diagnosis, I think, is called DID. But it's basically before. Still, to this day, some psychiatrists don't think multiples are a thing. But this was clear. This was well before that diagnosis was ever a thing. So, yeah, she was tortured by a Catholic priest, and her parents allowed it to happen. She was starved. And this is the descriptor that PTown uses, right? Like probably one of the worst exorcism cases that you could actually refer to is the one that PTown refers in particular to this incident that happened with his mother. Now, I don't think his story's true, but if his story's true, without a doubt, it's abusive as fuck. It's delusional on PTown's part. His mother is talking to people that she sees there in PTown seeing demons. And I'm supposed to apologize for that? You guys don't know about that part. So let's watch more from the Brett stream.
On that. Did you now? Why?
But again, I just want to disclose to everyone that I don't like talking about this, but for him to go on a stage and just say that I abuse my mom when I drop everything for my mom whenever she's ill, and I'll sacrifice my occupation, everything. I love my mom. My mom brought me into this world, so
well, Randy, why do you say he was abusive if he was praying for her and he's seen some extraordinary things happen while it was happening?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like it's okay if Nock doesn't agree with PTown's methods or whatever, but that's his belief, that's his family, that's his mom. I don't agree with everything that he says or he believes, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go out of my way and use such language. I think,
So he's giving you the classical. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about it. If you actually go watch my stream, so we get into this for hours, and I think it's over a course of 2 different streams. It's during the second stream that I just come out because in some regards, he's going to explain it away. In a way that is going to try to like justify it. And he's done that a little bit, but you guys should see the problem. So what he's not really explaining is the deep mental history that this woman had. Like he explained all of that in my stream. What
do you think he did?
The impactful situation that was the exorcism itself. This woman was not in her right mind. He was sitting there talking to demons, talking to her like she was a demon. I don't know how long it went on. I'd really have to go through and kind of watch the interactions. But by the end of that, I told him to his face, I said, what you have described to me this evening has, I see and feel in my gut is a very abusive and nasty thing. And it all started over like this proof he had that like demons exist and God is real. And it's all like just this basic exorcism of a woman that has some really deep rooted schizophrenia going on, psychosis going on, that was on and off her medications. And if the story is even true, because that's my other thing that I've said more often than not, is the story seems to change. So he's giving you a really watered down version. I would really have to play that PTown stream for you to understand why I would come to the conclusion and told him to his face, to at least, what I get of his face, his avatar here, that, hey, in my opinion, what you just described to me was very abusive. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I find legitimacy in it because I'm not sure if I believe
what's the abusive part that you.
And I think, watching so far what we've watched of the other stream, exactly what I said, we've seen that play out, right? We've seen exactly what I said play out. Not having that stream, this happening in the moment, I think I did a pretty good job of actually describing it and describing the position. He's the one that came in and brought this up. Again, I mean, I'm not going to show it yet. I'll probably show it at least one more time before the end of the stream. Again, this is all about the shit he said on Praise's stream, right? All of this is a deflection. Go up here. All of it. Every single bit of this is all a deflection from the fucked up shit he said on Praise's stream. So, I would show that nonstop for 3 hours, but definitely the channel would get taken down. So we'll just show how he gaslighted me last night and deflected. It's all a deflection from me asking him about the fucked up shit he said on Praise's stream. So now he gave them this very watered down version. So of course they're going to be like, well, he's praying for her. No, that's not what he did. He wasn't praying for her. He exorcised countless demons from one of the sickest people in the world by his story. I don't believe it at all. Let's continue.
Speak of when I hear
the exorcism is an actual exorcism, so it's not this you say watered down version of exorcism. No, it's not that. It was by his description. It was a fairly rough thing, and his mother was in this position to. I'd have to look at the stream because he says we drag it out of him, but he always goes back to it. We get away from it, and we end up right back there.
Well, I always ask for the same thing. I say I don't like talking about it, but I will.
This came up because I asked him about his fucked up comments he made about Praise, right? And he's trying to say, "Why are you going around talking behind my back like I'm doing something?" No, I said it to you. I said it to you, and I haven't changed my position.
I understand that you don't believe in the same thing that he does, but did it ever occur to you that No,
and I really if you think it's okay for him to commit an exorcism on his extremely, extremely sick and mentally ill mother, I can't help you. I can't. His mom doesn't have demons. Yeah. She has mental psychosis.
No, I understand that. I agree with you, and probably that's the truth.
It's not about his. It's not about his belief. It's about the fucked up story and the fucked up shit he's coming on my channel, bringing into my life.
But no, I understand that. But you have to understand that
he
mentioned
was abusive. It was sick. You go listen to that stream before you judge me.
No. I'm not judging you. I'm just. It's a brotherly advice, and it's okay if you don't agree with me. You don't want to take it. That's okay. But just let me.
All I'm saying is go listen to the version that's not watered down.
No. What I'm saying is, look. He first of all he mentioned that they went through all the medical doctors and everything, right? Now,
I talked a little bit of smack there, but like real quick, like to be fair to the Muslim dude here, like I do think he kind of like figures out, like, hey, this is a situation. Like, it really, if I'm gonna comment too much about it, I might want to find out a lot more, right? And because he's gonna leave like fairly soon, but I'm gonna skip forward. Actually, we're gonna go back to the other one because we need to go back to the other one now. But I'm gonna skip forward in the Brett stream just a little bit because I'm not there much longer. I do go to sleep. But eventually I just get tired of the gaslighting, and I have like my first major kind of rage moment since I stopped drinking. And I want to make sure I document that on the channel because, you know, I love those moments. Yeah, it's not too much longer. We'll skip forward just a little bit. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll listen to more of that just from where I'll think about skipping forward. Actually, let's not go there. I keep doing that. I want to hit that button. I want to go back to this stream. Yeah. We'll watch this for a while because we still got a bit to go in this and a bit to go in the Brett stream. And PTown, like, again, dude, you shouldn't have just came in gaslighting me last night. Should have stayed away. Should have let our awesome conversation just kind of play out and end. You know, it's unfortunate. I was playing kind of nice in Brett's stream. So, like, when you came out, I knew, oh, shit, I got to ask him about the praise shit. I got to play the dick for a moment. I was really hoping you'd take the opportunity and kind of, like, you know, just take the moment to clear the air and say, you know what, I said some fucked up shit, and in the moment, I didn't realize it was fucked up shit I was saying, but now that I think about it, it was some fucked up shit, and I don't condone it. I take it back. I'm sorry, but you didn't do that.
Witness it. You can't prove it.
We're not denying that your experience with your mom. What we're saying is you had this experience, but were you praying with her? Were you praying over her? Like, is there a chance that could have influenced her?
There's the only way that you can actually have an influence on demons is if you're actually speaking in the name of Jesus, because they shrivel and they coward and they run away and they challenge you and they'll lie to you. And it's a real thing. I couldn't believe it was a real thing. It was shocking to me, especially I was an immature Christian at the time. So I'm not professional.
Okay, so it was talking to you. So it was talking to you or your mom was talking to you?
Multiple of them. I didn't even see that coming, Rage. More than one.
So this is the weird thing about this whole conversation. It's kind of disgusting. So this moment in time 5 or 6 years ago, I guess you have your mom in your custody or your care or whatever. You call it an episode or whatever. Maybe she's off her meds. I don't know. But she's clearly in the state of whatever mania she's experiencing. And you're sitting here saying that you're talking to her in the name of Jesus, casting out demons, and you're talking to these demons, calling it. Like, you're talking to your mom, right?
Go screw yourself, Rage.
Like, you're talking
Go screw yourself. You're such a dick. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you just have an agenda. You're such a prick. You know that? Go count to 49 in Genesis. Go do your one thing I asked you to do.
All right, so I made it. Let's go back and like, if he was talking there, let's see if we can like listen for it now, right? So I'm like, dude, you're sitting there, you're calling your mom an it. You're saying you're talking to it, and you're talking to your mom at the same time. It's disturbing, man. So we're gonna go back just a couple minutes in this, and so our goal now that we've heard, I called him out for the stupid shit I'm hearing, and he's giving this fake outrage. Now our goal now is we listen back. Let's listen for him talk to the demon as an it.
I don't bring anything like that up with her because of her mental illness. Because a huge part of me is still very, very cognizant of the possibility that religion may have played a role in her.
You don't tell her that she's possessed? Or that she has demons? Or that you're going to cast the demons out for her?
When it came to that event, this was 5-6 years ago, it was to a point where you wouldn't know if you're talking to my mom or not. This wasn't like, this was something you would see in a movie. This is something like you saw in Emily Rose, is what I witnessed. And no one's going to ever believe me unless they witness it. You can't prove it.
We're not denying that your experience with your mom. What we're saying is you had this experience, but were you praying with her? Were you praying over her? Like, is there a chance that could have influenced her?
There's the only way that you can actually have an influence on demons is if you're actually speaking in the name of Jesus, because they shrivel and they coward and they run away and they challenge you and they'll lie to you. And it's a real thing. I couldn't believe it was a real thing. It was shocking to me, especially I was an immature Christian at the time. So I'm not professional.
Okay, so it was
talking
to you. So it was talking to you, or your mom was talking to you?
Multiple.
It sounds like I'm just referring to it, but I missed it. I was actually reading in the side chat. So did you guys hear it? I'm going to go back, not as far as I did that time, but it sounds like he was just referring to it.
This is something like you saw in Emily Rose, is what I witnessed. And
I did go
no one's going to ever believe me until they witness it. You can't prove it.
We're not denying that your experience with your mom. What we're saying is you had this experience, but were you praying with her? Were you praying over her? Like, is there a chance that could have influenced her?
The only way that you can actually have an influence on demons is if you're actually speaking in the name of Jesus. Because they shrivel and they cower and they run away and they challenge you and they'll lie to you. And it's a real thing. I couldn't believe it was a real thing. It was shocking to me, especially I was an immature Christian at the time. So I'm not professional.
Okay, so it was talking to you. So it was talking to you. I don't know. I think I'm not hearing it, so I'm not sure what I heard in the moment. Maybe it was earlier and I was just biding my time, but I'm not hearing him refer to his mother as an it there. You or your mom was talking.
Multiple of them. I didn't even see that coming, Rage. More than one.
Yeah, Mark Reed. Yeah, she wasn't possessed. The priest, actually, the priest, because I did a video on this. The priest, he had done other abuses before Emily Rose. And I think he eventually got out of it when it came to Emily Rose. I don't think he was ever really put in prison. But I'd have to go and research or look at it because I'm not sure if I'm remembering that correctly. I know he definitely got out of it when it came to the Vatican, but I do think that the Emily Rose case was the reason why the Vatican officially stopped doing exorcisms. But yeah, she had a form of dissociative epilepsy. That was her diagnosis at the time. And I think if we had the other diagnosis, the DID diagnosis, I can't remember what it stands for, the acronym. But it's basically, she had multiples. It's a very sad and tragic thing that happened to her. It's funny because in the Brett Keane stream, they're talking about how atheists kind of exaggerate exorcisms and always go to the worst cases. But, is in his description of the event, it was actually PTown that went to the worst of the worst instances. So this is the weird thing about this whole conversation. It's kind of disgusting. So this moment in time, 5 or 6 years ago, I guess you have your mom in your custody or your care or whatever. You call it an episode or whatever. Maybe she's off her meds. I don't know. But she's clearly in the state of whatever mania she's experiencing. And you're sitting here saying that you're talking to her in the name of Jesus, casting out demons, and you're talking to these demons, calling it. Like, you're talking to your mom, right?
Go screw yourself, Rage.
You're talking Go
screw yourself. You're such a dick.
You're not talking
you have no idea what you're talking about, and you just have an agenda. You're such a prick. You know that? Go count to 49 in Genesis. Go do your one thing I asked you to do.
It's disgusting.
No, it's not. It was after she was released. After she was released. After she was released. This was after all the doctors did everything for her. I flew down to Texas and spent 2 weeks with her. Okay? And this is what happened. This was after she was released. After they said, we can't do anything for her. I was put in a weird system. It wasn't like you guys make it sound like I caused this.
No, I know you did. I can just tell that you are a son that is worried about your mom. I think from the skeptic's position, we are worried, and I think people like Marty and others are worried that you're making it worse, that you could be making the situation. I think that's their major concern, is that she does have something going on, and that if you blame it on the supernatural, when in our opinion, it isn't the supernatural, you're pointing to a problem that isn't the problem. And so I appreciate you trying to help her. I know that when we're dealing with a lot of these issues and it is on like the cusp of what science can help, it makes it hard. I guess what my appeal to you, PTown, is although this is a very, I hate to say, it's a cruel situation because we're.
You know, I want you guys to notice, and Mark was doing this earlier as well, and I think pretty much everybody in the room besides myself is doing it. And I don't think you would get this, and I'm not going to say all Christian rooms or something, but I think if an atheist were to come in with this story, they definitely wouldn't get the compassion that atheists are showing PTown. And again, like everybody's giving PTown the benefit of the doubt. They're showing compassion. And that's a very, very beautiful thing. And again, I'm not sure, like maybe I'm just more sensitive to it, right? Like, you know, before Will trolled me, I had Godless Girl troll me, I had Cerberus Hex troll me. You know, like I'm really sensitive. Like I pick up the red flags pretty quickly at this point. You know, like I'm a seasoned fucking vet when it comes to people trolling me at this point. And some people are really good at it. Like Godless Girl and Will Kincaid are really fucking good at it. And Cerberus Hex is a master. You know, PTown, not a master. You know.
We're dealing with mental health. We're dealing with our own minds. You're dealing with your mom. But what I would say is, I think that the best way ultimately to help her is going to end up being science. I do have one question though for you, because I find interesting. What do you mean when you said that the demon shriveled at the name of Jesus?
So, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the right mood for this, but
I'm forgetting the main person in my trolls. Let me come up here. I can never remember her name. She's a trans girl. She had this really interesting name, and I followed her on Twitter for like the longest time. Gosh, I can't remember her name. She's really good too. She's actually Callan's boner. Will, in the side chat, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The person that's Callan's boner. You know who I'm talking about. Remind me, not Cat. You know who I'm talking about. What's her name? Oh gosh, she went on. She was trolling Cheshire there for a long time with drag and the whole started this whole great anti-ordinary. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Maya. Anti-ordinary. Gosh, why couldn't I remember her name? I was trolled and still occasionally get trolled by anti-ordinary. I think 25% of the time when the Callan's Raging Boner troll was happening, and still to this day, it's Cerberus Hex. The other 75% of the time, it's anti-ordinary, working with Cerberus Hex. They think I don't know that, though. So, like, honestly, when it comes to trolls, like, I'm a vet.
So to the extent that my mom was at that time, I can't remember, but there was enough. She wouldn't sleep. This was after the doctors released her finally. I came down. It was me and my dad. We both literally didn't sleep for 3 nights. Pretty much we alternated the little sleep that we could get because we would have to go on watch. But my mom, we put so much drugs in her, like it would knock out a horse. So it was like this metaphysical ability to not sleep. And it was something you can see in her face where her eyes, there was no wrinkles. My mom doesn't usually look healthy. She looked completely healthy. You would see her eyes dilated more than she would normally be. No red in her eyes. She was, for me, at times when I would get into the nitty gritty with whoever I was talking to, she's completely out. Like, it wasn't talking to my mom. She might lie to me and tell me it was her sometimes, but I knew it wasn't. She would speak in different languages. She would quote scripture, but not quote scripture properly. It would be a half lie. These are, again, this is what happened. So, like, it's not, I still question it. Like,
It almost sounds like he's just making shit up from movies he saw, right? Like, I don't believe any part of the story. But if you take advantage of your really sick mother like this, yeah, I'm gonna call it like I see it. Like, a lot of people are gonna do what you see is happening in this room, right? A lot of people are gonna do that. I'm just not that dude. I'm gonna call it like I see it. I don't believe your story, and if your story's true, you should stop telling it because it's a story about abuse. You abused your mom. I'm sorry that you came in and told that story. I wish you never would have. The several times that you did so, I wish you would not have done so. I equate it like, you know, at the worst of my mom's alcoholism right before she died. Had I been like this uber Christian just going at her, trying to exorcise the demon of alcoholism from her, and an Emily Rose scenario of where she's like actually held captive and, you know, against her will. I mean, that's the implication of using even the movie, like, implied. It's like, I haven't seen that movie in a really long time. And like, you would think, like, if you're going to use that as your descriptor, you would actually know the real story behind it. The anime show, which I did lay out earlier, and Mark Reed has in the side chat. Because it's just a story. It's a story of abuse, right? And just the whole thing about, like, this story that you came onto my stream and told me about was really fucked up, dude. And we're right here at the worst part of it, right? So, you know, considering everything that we've heard so far, and then we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this from P Mars. So we're just gonna skip forward like a minute. Where am I at? Yeah, just like a minute. We're going to get this.
Because I understand how emotional it was for me and how that plays a role in it.
Did I call him P Mars? I think I just called PTown P Mars. Yeah, that's some, like, subconscious shit right there.
Ever tell people the truth if they ask me. But I don't hold that up to evidence for my belief in God and Jesus and the Bible. But I will tell the truth. I will tell people what I experienced. And I will willfully acknowledge that I studied, I have a degree in psychology. I understand how my experience can be biased, especially emotional ones. So I have journals of this.
Wait, what? What? Did you just say you have a degree in psychology? What the fuck did you? What the fuck did you just say?
Acknowledge that I studied. I have a degree in psychology. I understand how.
Wait a minute. You have a degree in psychology, and you have a sick mother, and you're unable to tell the psychosis from your fucked up religious beliefs. So you abuse. Like, you should not tell the story. Like, just stop telling the story. You have a degree in psychology? I call bullshit. I'm going to ask the important question right here, though.
My experience can be biased, especially emotional ones. So I have journals of this. I have never looked at them because it's scary. In fact, I don't look at them for a different reason, because a lot of other things besides what we're talking about was revealed by whatever I experienced. But yeah, I mean, that's just where I stand. So I agree with you. I always I don't let that because here's the deal. I might come to you guys and tell you what I believe, and I might speak confidently a lot of the time, and I will show you the evidence that I have and let you make your own decision. But I don't jeopardize the possibility of me being wrong on anyone else. And that includes my mom, my dad, my wife's a believer, I'm not going to persecute anyone with it in any sense, but I will declare it. This stuff happened, guys. It's the truth.
My final thing is that even if you even become more skeptical in your theism or your Christianity or any supernatural experience, don't let that stop you from, which I know you already will, because it sounds like you do care, but don't let that stop you, your mom, seeking actual medical avenues. Because I think every year, although it's hard to see sometimes, we're making fantastic advancements, and we're starting to really get a better bar on a lot of these diagnoses that we couldn't before. It's not a guarantee, but I think if there is one guarantee, it's that science currently is the best methodology that we're going to do to help her.
They're using electroshock therapy. That just sounds like absolutely the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've gotten better at that. They've gotten better at that. It's not like it was originally. They'll do they can specialize it into certain parts of your brain.
Yeah.
So it's not good. It's one of those things where you're screwed either way.
What Marty said earlier really made me, think a lot. And my mom and I have a lot of differences. We both have mental health disorders, but I think that's one of the strongest bonds that a living human can have. And if it's possible not to break that bond, whatever the difference is, then it's worth it, So try your best, to keep that.
Yeah. Good luck with it. I know it's hard. I don't know that specific situation, but my ex-wife has DID, and
what's DID?
Multiple personalities.
Dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of like what I experienced, but on steroids, probably.
Well, I didn't realize at the time. She doesn't actually switch into a different person. I just treat it as different moods, like I can be kind of hot and cold or, however. But she doesn't actually, I've never seen her turn into like a different being, but it's a spectrum-y thing, You don't have to have actual literal personalities to get diagnosed with it.
It's like,
the very interesting thing about, let's go up here for a second. This is something like I'm really starting to look into myself just because I'm interested about it. I mentioned this like a documentary I saw on HBO Max about like the woman that's like the pioneer of this DID diagnoses, and there's still plenty of psychologists out there that will straight up tell you multiples are not a thing, they don't exist. Their argument is that the psychiatrist puts the idea there, and they have good arguments and they have good documentation when it comes to certain individual cases, definitely. And the science was brand new, and there's been a lot of bumps along the road. It's a great documentary. But the thing that I really took away from the documentary, it was this feeling like, we need to be very, very sensitive of the trauma that we cause our children. Because trauma affects children in a completely different way than it does when we're adults. Any kind of trauma, and that would be like using physical violence to discipline children. But when it comes to like extreme traumatic events in childhood, or extreme instances where parents are just really, really lacking in empathy for their children, love for their children, that the things that happen to people when they're children greatly affect diagnoses like DID. So it's one of the things that I really took away. Like, people really need to be aware of traumas that they're causing their children through their most influential times in their lives. Great documentary. Fucking great documentary.
When I talk about demons, I try to emphasize that these things are tricky. There was always a cop out. There was always, like, with the doorbell ringing, when I was really getting the heat of, I was being really successful with these things. My dad looked out the peephole, and there was kids on the other side of the street. So he was like, "That's really weird. That's never happened before." I guess one of the kids randomly ran over and rang the doorbell and ran away.
Are demons responsible for
there's
all?
There's always like a possible excuse, right? Like, it's hidden. They're sneaky.
Are demons responsible for all cases of extreme schizophrenia like this, or just your mom's?
I have no idea, man. I believe in the medical industry.
Well,
I
like
support
you've
it.
seen demons, so like I still haven't gotten clarification on that. All right. My microphone is super, super low. So I asked the important question. So are all all mental health diagnoses, are all multiples just demons? And this so-called PTown with the psych degree says he doesn't know. I call bullshit. Personally, that's just me though. So let's go back to the Brett Keane thing for a while, because I pretty much watched all that I wanted to watch there. Like, again, like, I'm sure had I watched farther, I could definitely get to the part where I just call him straight abusive to him in this stream. It's going to get worse, I do believe. It never really gets better. But I don't really feel like I need to do that. So we'll just we'll hone in on the end of this Brett Keane stuff and just, the gaslighting that just kind of occurred last night, because he's been in the side chat today, like, playing victim. Poor PTown.
Nothing resolved.
Well, yeah, I mean, we get into the details. Again, we talked about this. So, like, it's hard for me to get into it. Like PTown, you know what I'm talking about. Like, bring it all up. Like, talk about, like, all the shit you did during the exorcism, talking to the demons, the thing you said to your mom.
I would rather not, but if I have to, I will. Knock, but just don't do that behind my back anymore, Knock. Don't say that thing.
If I may
don't say it behind your back, I say it to you.
It's not my stream, right? But all I will say is that you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, right? But all I will say is, guys, respect each other. Family is sacred. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're an atheist.
Oh, no, trust me, I agree. My family was attacked by Smokey Saint. I'm not trying to attack his family. He came in, he told a really messed up story, and he kept going. He's doing the same thing he's doing here. Like, I don't want to talk about it, but let's fucking please talk about it. It's really weird. And go back and watch the stream. Yeah, so for him to make it out like I've been attacking his family, this fake outrage. Like, no, dude literally came into my stream. We just watched it. We watched about an hour of it in total. But there was probably 3-4 more hours in that stream alone. And there was another stream where it started with just Marty talking about being a witch in America. And then we opened it up and PTown came in. That's the first time. I'm pretty sure it's come up another time after the stream that we've watched on my channel. Like, so this dude just keeps bringing this fucked up story about abusing his mom to my channel. Right? Stream. Like, this is his stick. Every stream like he goes into, it's this thing. When it comes up, I don't really want to talk about it, but I guess you're going to make me. And like, he goes around and says, I'm like talking behind his back. Like, dude, no, I'm not. I'm right here telling you. The story you told me was messed up, dude. I wouldn't tell it no more.
Well, it sounds like PTown feels by himself that it was a messed up deal. And it just, it shocked him. It was something that was traumatizing for him. And I don't I don't know what else to say about this. PTown, if you feel like sharing it, my email is brettkeemphone@gmail.com. My email is in the description as well as contacts. If you feel like talking about it, I'll hear it. But
I'm gonna really have to go through it. Like, I'm gonna do what I used to do, and I'm just gonna edit, like, the key points. But it's like
I would rather you not do
it's
that.
like this
you always
6-hour stream that I have to go.
I don't want you to twist and turn things, though. Not please.
But that's
like, I love my mom very much.
I do that. I love it when I like give the actual quotations and like what's actually said, and then they're like, "Oh, you're gonna twist and turn it." No, I'm gonna show what you said.
No, you won't, though. Knock. I'm sorry,
It'll
just
be
to say it to your face,
like,
but
come on, bro. Like, Brett, you've seen me do this a long time.
Twisting.
See, that's what PTown says. Like, I don't twist and turn anything. You say what you fucking say, dude. You say it. I don't say it. You brought this shit into my life. I didn't ask for it. I mean, it was enjoyable at first just because you don't get many fucking Christians in the rooms anymore. So, hey, this Christian is just like eager to come in and talk for hours. Yay. And then it's like, I don't want to talk about my mom, but I don't want to talk about my mom, but really, I really, really, really don't want to talk about my mom, but that thing with my mom, I just kind of wish it never came into my life.
Internal.
I'm going to give my commentary, but
I love my mama.
Goddamn words.
Well, the thing is,
the last time you've done that, you will.
Oh, thank you so much. That's like a perfect segue for me to go here. Let me find it here. So, Christ brings the sword. Says I hit the thumbs down, which is awesome. Thank you so much. So if you like the content, subscribe, please. Hit the bell. Thumbs up or down are appreciated. Interactions are going to help grow the channel. Can't take it back now, Christ brings the sword. Check out my links in the description. I got some pretty decent merch. I think I got that OG Raging Atheist design on some shit, from Dr. Josh and Megan of Digital Hammurabi. Their original design. Links in the description if you want to help support the channel. Thank you for the segue there in the side chat. I needed to be reminded. I'm such a bad YouTuber. Christ brings a sword.
Cut me off 3 times in the middle of a sentence and just start to
That's
do
why
your own thing.
That's why I'm saying, PTown, if you feel like you want to share it, I got my email, and you can either send a video or a recording, or you can type it out what your view is. If you don't feel like doing that, I'm not going to pressure you to it. But what I'm sitting here.
Oh, yeah, it definitely wouldn't surprise me. Like, I think it's pretty much all a lie. I think it's all a troll. I think he's trying really hard to troll and failing. But you know what I don't think is a troll here. I said I'm going to do this one more time because again, this whole conversation about PTown's mom, this whole conversation about Stifler's mom is just a deflection from the real conversation that needs to be had with P-Town. That, a deflection from the original question that I first asked when P-Town came in the room. And it's this question. This is what he said, and he hasn't clarified it yet. At least maybe he did in the side chat. And everybody knows I don't pay attention to the side chat. I should, but again, I'm a really bad YouTuber.
We
don't care about rumors and hearsay unless there's a conviction. I'm sorry, but it's just armchair detective work.
Why is it all about the money, though? You know that saying they say follow the money? Why is Christianity always about the money?
I don't know. Ask Kent that one.
What are you talking about?
I think you're in the wrong stream, newest man.
Why is Kent all about the money? That would be a good question to ask him.
Can I just
follow the money
before I get cut off?
You don't understand fact finding.
Before I get cut off this time, let's just say that this Chris dude actually did touch that guy's wiener with a paper towel. Let's just say that, and all of these bad things happen. Let me finish. Can I make my point before I get cut off? Is what I was asking. So let's assume that he did touch his wee with a paper towel, and all of you were just tremendously hurt by all of this. Does it still not pale in comparison compared to what Kent has done?
Wow, you're gonna make me sick.
So I mean, like seriously, yo. I mean, if you're still in the side chat, I'd be more than willing to shoot a link in the side chat that would be just for you, and we can, I can give you another opportunity to try to clarify that. Let us all know why you're not a big douchebag and sick, and people need to keep their kids away from you. Like you could do that. Like if you're still in the side chat and you want to do that, I'll have you on before I end this thing to defend yourself. Because I mean, I would like some clarification of that. I think I'm just saying, speaking for everybody.
You're asking me, Rage, what part is considered abusive?
I never abused my mom. I love my mom. So it's none of it's whatever he's gonna say is none of it's true.
PTown,
No
like,
abuse. Yeah.
from the bottom of my heart, like my utmost sympathies for you and everything that you went through in the past and that you're going through. I can, because I lost my father not long ago, so I understand.
Yeah, I'm starting to think like, man, these Christians that come on the internet, like internet and Christians don't mix, because Christ brings a sword, just getting cray in the side chat too.
And like how?
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay, man. Thank you, but yeah, it was great talking to you guys, and hopefully we'll continue talking.
Here's what I told you. So you notice, dude fell quiet, right? And now he's like, I think he came to the realization, like, hey, we were having this really cool conversation, and now it's into these like really murky waters that I just don't know enough about to really speak to. So I'm just gonna dip out. That's a good thing. I don't last much longer. I'm about done with all the gaslighting. I mean, a little bit. Let me see. So we got 6 minutes at least. Or we got a good 10 minutes or so left. Good 10 minutes or so left. So I'm not quite done with all the gaslighting yet.
About the subject again the next time I get on.
Well, Firewhat, I usually open a show every 7 p.m. Central on Friday. Sometimes I'll do a surprise show during the week. But you're always welcome to come in. You're always welcome.
I think I see a fine, Rage. So let me come up here and actually... All right, let's see. StreamYard is there, so I actually got to turn it on. And we'll shoot you a link. So, boom. Yeah, come in. I would love some clarification, PTown. That'd be awesome. So, this is what I like. This is what we'll do. I'll check my settings while I'm up in this bitch. So can't get my fucking... I gotta remember how I can actually do that. All right, there we go. Cool. Let's do my audio settings. Let's see where they're at. Why am I so low? Because yes, it does. I think somebody, like when I go into people's streams, I think some people have this like hack. They have the ability to turn me down because my shit just goes fucking crazy. So yeah, now I can actually turn it up. We'll blast that bitch because I'm super low in these fucking rooms. All right. So let's enter the studio. Yeah, come on in. I'd love you to have a conversation about that. I blasted it now. Let's not talk about your fucking mom. I don't go behind your back and say, hey, did you know PTown abuses his mom? That's not how it went down. That should be the link if I copied it right. Come on in. That's for PTown. PTown, come on in. And we'll see if StreamYard is working. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna work for me. Come on in, PTown. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. What up, man? What up? You're muted.
All right, I got you now. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what up? So we got the gaslighting done last night, so let's not do that.
Are we both done gaslighting each other now?
I don't think I gaslight you. How do I gaslight you?
Or I don't even know what gaslighting means, actually, not.
How can you not know?
Whatever you want to call this, are we good?
You don't know. You have a psychology degree and you don't know what gaslighting is?
Yeah, I don't.
So do you have a psychology degree or don't you have a psychology degree?
I do. I have a psychology degree and almost double majored in English, which is funny because I'm clearly not very good with words. I only had like one class left to get my major in English, but I ended up not doing it, so I got a minor in English.
So Mark Reed isn't going to
find. That's why Mark got confused, is because I didn't finish that degree.
All right.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. So you don't know what gaslighting is. So like, how do you think that I've like misrepresented you? Like so you came in last night and I asked you the simple question about praise. Do you want to start there?
Okay, I asked you to stop. I think at one point you called me a woman abuser, and then you called me a mom. I was saying that I abused my mom, and I was asking you not to say that about me.
Well, so you say like woman abuser, like I'm implying like some kind of physical abuse. Did I ever say that you committed physical abuse upon your mother?
I don't know what you meant by it, but
well, I mean, clearly you do. I kind of showed the implication of it today, right? So you come into my channel, you have this story about this exorcism that you performed on your mother. And again, we're not really talking about praise. We're talking about your mom's again. But you performed this exorcism on your mother, a very, very sick person by your description, probably one of the sickest people there can be. And you performed this exorcism. I pointed out, like, this is very problematic for me. I consider this to be abuse, especially once you point out you have a degree in psychology. I do understand, like,
look, I take
gaslighting is like a psychological colloquial term, but I'm just saying, like, somebody that's had some kind of higher learning should actually understand what gaslighting is. I would guess. I would just assume, but maybe I'm just, I don't know, biased when it comes to what should be a smart person.
Maybe I'm smart in different ways. I don't know, but yeah, I'll have to.
I mean, clearly the context of why I say that, I
think there's a story. There's a story behind the word gaslighting.
I mean, I heard once. I've said it to you, and since I got really tired of you bringing up the story again, I've pretty much been out in the open. Yeah, I mean, if you want to listen to that story, go ahead. But just
look, I'm sorry I went on to that stream. And I have no other way of communicating with you. I'm talking about last night. I'm sorry I went on and I asked you to stop calling me a mom abuser. I would have asked you.
Well, I mean, so
by some other means.
Are you going to address the question? Like, what about?
Yeah, the Chris Jones is one, right? That's the one that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Look, I am in no way defending Chris Jones. All I was trying to say is, this event that happened with him, Chris Jones, I think it was a 2-year separation from when he was at Dinosaur. I'm not fully up to date with all of this stuff, but I was defending Kent. Kent is separate from Chris Jones. That was.
Well, I assume that.
Damn, I'm hungover, so this is kind of hard.
I assume that's what I was saying. But like, no, you clearly it was like, yeah, big deal. Like he molested a kid, but Kent Hovind's great. Why should we care?
Well, right there, you're making it sound like Kent Hovind molested a kid.
No, Chris Jones molested a kid.
Sounds.
I'm reiterating what you said, dude. Don't put it on me.
I was saying hi.
I've only played it 4 times in the stream.
I know you keep playing it, and hopefully you will stop.
I mean, I can play it again.
Well, what I said, for some reason it cut it off. I said at the end of it was, doesn't it pale in comparison to what Kent Hovind has done for the ministry? Look, I just think that Kent, he has. I think I also talk about it. I mean, Kent's not a perfect person. Clearly, and his whole business model is ridiculous. I think letting, just whoever wants to come stay at Dinosaur Adventureland, and just work for a place to stay and for food, basically, it's going to attract a lot of problems. I don't think it mixes well with an amusement park for kids. That's but that's not. I mean, that would be my guess.
I mean, I understand it's got to be very uncomfortable. Like, so you're trying to defend Kent Hovind, right? So, all right, let's start there. Like, do you not find it problematic that you're defending somebody who enables a pedophile? Like, why not just stay out of it?
Well, Well, usually I don't like it when people take things out of context and make people look bad, which those Christians that I was talking to on that stream, have a real vendetta against Kent. So only time I ever really defend Kent is when I try to correct people on the few facts that I think need to be corrected on, which I probably shouldn't do. It's definitely not good for me, but it's the same for anybody too. I mean, if someone was talking smack about you, Rage, and I knew that what they were saying wasn't accurate, I would be vocal and stand up for anybody.
What's not accurate? I mean, so Kent Hovind has definitely enabled a pedophile. Like, this isn't anything new, and we have Kent Hovind on the record just dismissing this character, saying he's been framed. It's real. So to me, like, I don't understand why Christians aren't angry about it. Like, you should be angry when you speak of the ministry and the damage that this seems to be implied or by the impact of this, I guess, because you guys seem so worried about it that you're willing to just kind of stoop to the level of, well, fuck the kid. I don't get it. Like, you should instead of defending Kent Hovind like you chose to do, don't you think like you should be like, maybe like, Kent Hovind, I have this, like, go fuck yourself and praise. Like, seriously, dude, this is fucked up, man. Like, that would be like, like, just go buy type of deal, right?
I mean, I don't really know what to say other than, it's, if all of the accusations are true, and if you
keep saying accusations, but like, we have Kent Hovind himself like dismissing Chris Jones, like saying he's framed because he knows too much about the jail or by the New World Order, like Kent Hovind himself live on it, video recording.
Right. I heard that. I know. That sounds. Well, if Chris Jones can convince him of that,
Nobody's saying Kent Hovind actually molested the child. The issue, the moral issue.
But there are people that actually think that at this point.
No, so the moral issue isn't that. The moral issue is that you're sitting there defending somebody that enables a pedophile, who had a pedophile onto a property that definitely has a child care facility there. It's illegal in the state of Alabama. He should have been nowhere near Dinosaur Adventureland, and yet you Christians just defend him in really odd and disgusting ways.
What I was trying to say, and I'm probably going to put my foot in my mouth again, is that let's assume Kent's made some really bad decisions in trusting someone that he shouldn't have. Doesn't it pale in comparison to all the things that Ken has done for the ministry? And
you chose to say it a completely different way. I mean, you chose.
Well, I don't even know how I said it differently. I mean, it's. I guess I did say the wee thing.
So just say he touched his wee with a paper towel. So you're totally dismissing the child, the accusations. You're dismissing.
But again, that didn't
it.
happen on. I'm just, again, I don't want to defend this, but it didn't happen on
4 of 7 counts of this shit, and you guys are on stream live defending this man.
Well, that situation, just to clarify, that event that may or may not have happened was 2 years.
Were you not partaking in like the character assassination?
And nowhere near this area. It was 2 years apart, nowhere in this area.
You were there,
or in the area.
The character assassination of the child's mother was prevalent through the entire conversation. You were there. You were partaking in that. You know, like this wasn't the only fucked up thing you said.
Well,
it
I
was
didn't
just
say
the
anything.
most egregious.
I didn't say anything about the mom. It's pretty much, you know.
I mean, but
I was just saying.
You was
the only time I talked was
Kent Hovind, and the whole thing was a character.
I also said some bad things
mother.
about Kent Hovind that I wished I hadn't. You know, like I was just saying, I don't think Kent's a perfect man to any extent. Like, I definitely think he's made some really bad decisions in his past. I even think I said in that stream that I think that he's clearly arrogant. You know, maybe God made him that way for a reason.
I don't care if he's arrogant. To me, being arrogant isn't problematic. Fuck, a lot of people are arrogant. What I care about is like, you know, like him just literally admitting to being a pedophile enabler. That's what I care about. That's the fucking problem with Kent Hovind. Other than that, he has nothing to do with the conversation. It's all about the words you chose to use, the dismissing of the allegations, the dismissing of the child, the victim. On top of all the
in no
lies,
way want to dismiss that.
all the lies that Kent Hovind's been able to tell on Praise's channel. You know, like accusing Mark Stoney of paying the child $10,000, the character assassination of the mother. They try to make it all about the mother who, was actually like the Chris Jones was her boss, and you know, like because Chris Jones, this like fucking con man pedophile, conned her into allowing her child to go to what's supposed to be some safe retreat in some uber Christian fantasy world. She's to blame because, you know, she was 4 states away and couldn't fucking get there in time to stop it. You know, like what? It's the same thing they did with, you know, Linda Shark and how, you know, in everything that she has to say regarding her eyewitness testimony about the incident that happened at Dinosaur Adventureland, it's not relevant at all because, you know, we have this recording of her talking about an affair she had with on her husband with this Steve Lynn dude who, we caught making porn videos. I mean, and yet you guys go and you defend, like Kent Hovind, this is the guy I'm going to defend, you know, because of the ministry.
Well, all I say is that Kent has done some good things and I get just torn to pieces. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I look at Kent and I think that he's
Kent, but you come here and you defend like your fucked up statements by like, well, you know, if that proves true, like, no, dude, this is all like what happened and what I don't know like what you mean by that. Like that's what all you Christians are doing. Like you're waiting for some like FBI raid on Chris Jones or some criminal charge that will come or it won't come. We're talking about just shit Kent Hovind said and on air and shit that's happened in his fantasy theme park or cult compound, as I think.
Well, pause it right there, Rich. That's where, you know, I really shouldn't jump into the mess, but the incident with the accusation with the paper towel happened at a completely different time and in a completely different place other than this area, and it gets convoluted and people may start making it sound like it happened on the compound and, you know, Kent was actually setting the whole thing up, and just
so the boy the boy says he was drugged and doesn't have much memory of what happened on in the house they slept in. Linda Sharp has testified that, you know, she wakes up with nightmares about the fact that she went home that night and that boy got molested. But yes, the first real memory the boy has of the molestation happened on the way home, for sure. That's all in the testimony, yeah. But it's just your complete
well, you
dismissal.
know a lot more. You know a lot more about it than me.
Your complete dismissal of it was what, and the way that you put it was horrendous, you know. And I was trying to ask you for it, and you kept deflecting. You kept going back to this mom bullshit.
Wait, hold on a second. Sometimes you're talking about last night?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, last night.
Well, I didn't know which one we were talking about sometimes because you bounce back and forth
like
so
you're
much.
calling me out for I'm somehow going on all these different
called
channels.
Me a woman abuser.
I called you that when you were here. Like I don't go on to other channels saying that shit. I say it to you.
I don't know. I can't remember where you said it.
If your story is true,
it wasn't while I was on the stream.
The story that I don't believe. If your story is true, it's abusive. I'm sorry you don't like that, but it's abusive. I'm sorry you don't like that. You should understand it if you have a psychology degree. I think.
That's fine, but when you just refer to me as a woman abuser,
when did I refer to you?
I can't remember.
That's
now.
your
It was
word.
like you referred to me as like mom abuser as my name at one point. Anyway,
I mean,
you just
if,
go be
if
yourself.
Your story's
it's
true.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it'd be the equivalent of. My mom being drunk out of her mind at the end, at the end when her alcoholism had gotten the best of her. She's drunk out of her mind. And you brought in Emily Rose, Annalie Michelle.
I was, I had quite a few clearly that night, and I didn't have a better explanation.
Let's clarify that. What did you mean by that? Like, what did you mean by it was very Emily Rose? Like, do you know the implications of that?
The talking and voices part, not the rest of it. Yeah, but I couldn't think of a better explanation. I think at that time to describe it. But when it came to, I think I've only seen Emily Rose once, so many years ago. But I think she talks with different voices. I think she has different. Like I mentioned, as far as I could tell, different demons in her. Different demons were talking at different times. It's really weird stuff, man. But no, basically, I mean, I think Brett put it the right way. Like, basically, I was praying for her and weird stuff happened. Not much more than that. Besides that, I was just taking care of my mom.
No, that's not. No, that's what you're trying to say now. But, I mean, I play part of it. So this is what you do. You try to run away from the shit that you actually say. That's not how you described it to us. Don't
I'm
pretend.
here. I don't think I'm running.
Well, no, you.
But again, this was
lied,
a week.
I just played it. I just fucking played it. You've been here the whole time.
I haven't lied, man. I don't lie.
Now it's.
But
I
will tell you, I have to go to a princess thing here
You just
soon.
said, yeah. Well, I'm not going to do this all day. I need to get off
just
here
want
and
to let
start
you know.
cleaning. But like you just literally said, like now it's like Brett Keane said. It's like I was just sitting there praying for it. That's not what you described to us at all.
This was, this was like a week-long thing. There was lots of different events that happened. So it's not like I can fully describe it. Maybe I'm not doing the best at describing it. But
you're a disingenuous douchebag. That's what you are.
I think if anything, I'm too honest.
It's just pure disingenuous bullshit at this point. Like do you have any like real backbone to your belief structure at all?
Of course I do.
So when you had this
now.
week-long exorcism with your mother, were you casting out countless demons from her body?
No, most of it was me taking care of my mom best I could, because she wouldn't sleep for the first 3-4
Then why come
days.
onto my stream several times and just fucking lie?
What are you talking about, Rage?
Then why did you come on my stream several times for the last month and just straight fucking lie about it?
Why? I have never lied about anything.
I just played it.
I didn't lie about anything.
I just played where you said you cast out countless demons from your mother.
Yeah, so during this period
and you
of
were
time,
speaking to them, and they were evil.
Yeah, some of them I would. Yeah, I did. I would talk to them in the name of Jesus. Can you tell me what your name is? You know, or to order them around and tell them. They would tell me their name.
Did
They'd
you
speak
learn
in
that?
different languages.
Did you learn that when you was getting your psychology degree? How to do exorcisms? Did you get it from,
No.
like, I don't know, did you...
It was just working.
Were you a Catholic? I know you don't claim any denomination now, but were you a Catholic at some point and they taught you how to fucking do it?
No.
Is it just your discernment that you had these supernatural abilities to be able to cast out demons with your great, vast knowledge of the human psyche?
No, Rage.
Why the fuck
I'm
are you so
ready.
butthurt about me saying you taking, by your description, one of the sickest people in America, somebody that has DID, somebody that is a multiple, that has multiple personalities, that manifest, by your account, as hallucinations before her, right? So you're going to take this woman for a week and subject her to you casting demons out of her body and get butthurt when I call that abusive. Why?
When you randomly refer to me as the woman abuser,
tell me how that's not
I think
abusive.
that's uncalled for.
Tell me how it's not abusive. Explain to me how it's not abusive.
Rage, when I'm praying for my mom or to my mom, or she's talking to me in different languages, or like there's no wrinkles on her face, for some crazy, somehow she hasn't slept 3 days, even though the doctors gave us a ton of sleeping pills to give her. It was a very supernatural experience.
All right, so now it
and
is
then
more
when I'm
than
saying
you
in the
just
name of
praying for your mom for a week.
Right.
So I mean, what is it?
Right.
Did you cast out countless demons from your mom or not? Were these things evil?
The first time I started to realize maybe it was.
And then explain
demons
to me how that's
was I was
not
on the
abusive.
porch with her. Look, you know, if you want to call it abusive from your perspective, that's fine. I'm over it now.
I mean, I would keep you like
it's already
if
clearly.
I was, if you know, I'm not a medical doctor, but if I was your mother's medical doctor, I would insist that you stay as far the fuck away from her as we can keep you legally. That's what I would insist. I'm shocked that hasn't happened. Like, do they know? Does your mother's medical doctors know about this exorcism that you performed on their patient? Were they aware of it? Were they part of it? Were they there to make sure she survived it? Because in so many of these things, people don't survive. Right?
I don't know what image you have in your head of this.
I mean, you're the one that said Emily Rose.
Clearly got some issues.
You put the image in my head that I have of this, so don't try to back out of it now.
I'm going to this princess thing. I gotta go.
All right.
All right. You have a good rest of your day, man.
Yep. I'd stop. I'd just drop the story altogether. Come up with a new one.
Well, if people ask me about it, you know,
you're gonna go with it,
but
you shouldn't. But yeah, have a good one. I need to get off here myself.
See you, Rage. Bye.
Yep, laters. Well, what can I say? What can I say? Yeah, Titan or Tioga. Sorry, for some reason I was seeing Titan. Tioga, yes, really odd, really weird, odd. Now it's like, you know, it's what Brett Keane said last night. I do want to watch the end of that, so we'll watch the end of that. Where am I at? So I leave in about 10 minutes. I don't want to go all 10 minutes. Let's go to like shortly before I leave. And we'll watch the tail end of it. And we'll end the stream. I don't know. I might have to clip out that little moment. Run away to your princess party, my dude. Wow. I don't even really know, man. I don't even really know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I hope he takes my advice. Just drop the whole, I performed an exorcism on my very, 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 very sick mother thing. I just drop it. Hopefully I helped you. Hopefully that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I'm here, and just come up with another lie. Better story, more believable, not so many red flags in it, be my awesome, great advice to PTown there. So again, after about an hour of the gaslighting last night, I just had enough. And I want to make sure I document as we end the stream, and I'll come back and officially shut this thing down. But, since I quit drinking, I really hadn't had one of those, rage, I'm done. It's time to go to bed. Fuck you. I'm out type of things. So let's check out the end of last night's shindig over on Brett Keen's channel with PTown.
My mama, please.
Oh my God, you're such a troll. I don't believe. All right.
Trust me, I'm not the troll here.
I don't think that your mom exists in the way you portray your mom. I don't think that you exist in the way you portray yourself. I think you're a legitimate troll. I don't take you seriously.
Why do you guys have such issues with each other? Did it start over the exorcism thing?
Yeah, like this dude is weird. He comes out of nowhere. And he's got this really. He says things like that, and it's not like he knows what he's doing. He's trolling right now.
I'm just calling you out.
No, you're doing a really. I mean,
you admitted that you. Just please. I'm just look. I forgive you.
It was a really weak. It was a really weak deflection for me giving you my honest opinion of this messed up story. I'm not sure if I believe that you gave me from a question that I simply asked about this fucked up statement you made on Praise's stream. It's a nice deflection, and you're hyper focused on it. Like you're gonna like fucking.
I'm trying to be nice, Knock.
No,
I'm trying to be nice to you.
I'm going.
Will you please just don't do it again?
You're gonna keep bringing this up everywhere you go.
I won't. No, I won't. I won't. I'll drop it. I'll drop it from here on out. If you just say I'm sorry, PTown, I won't do it again. I'll drop it.
I will not.
So what you keep bringing up something happened over in Praise the stream. I
brought it up earlier. It's the statement he made about like Kent Hovind.
Oh, I thought we were talking about my mom. You're bringing up something else.
Since I brought that up, since the moment you came into the stream, you
just apologize about my mom.
I'm not gonna fucking apologize to you. You're an abusive prick if that story's true.
So what happened with the whole Praise thing? Let's try to.
It was pretty much justifying Hovind and Chris Jones. Like pretty much, if Chris Jones actually touched the kid's dick, then it doesn't matter because Kent Hovind's done such great things for creationism. It was a really sick statement to make. I'm paraphrasing there. He clearly made the statement. No, you clearly made that statement.
Knock, you have issues. Just don't talk about.
So yeah, we kind of just rehashed that here. I don't buy his lame ass excuses. I played it 4 times now on the channel. I'm not gonna play it again. You guys know what I'm talking about at this point. But there he's like clearly like just straight like deflect. You have issues, Knock.
About me and my mom again.
You want to keep? No, I'm going to because you're a sick fuck. I think that you're the one that actually is schizophrenic. I really do. I don't think your mom's schizophrenic. I think you're schizophrenic.
Oh, guys.
That's the straight up truth. Like he's fucking insane. Like
I'm a normal person.
Get to know him.
Rage. I prayed for you, Rage. I prayed that you would get your new job. Like I care about your daughter. Like I know that you have this crazy view of me, but honestly, I actually care about you, man.
I'm about to go to bed, so
go to bed. Just please don't talk about me and my mom anymore.
See, you're just
specifically
a troll,
my mom.
You're just
don't talk about my mom like that, please. That's it. You can talk about me all you want. Just I love my mom.
Stop enabling pedophiles, you sick fuck. Go to
I
fucking
never have done
hell,
anything
you
like that.
Sick bastard.
No.
Brings back old times. It's been a while since I just left on the strongest point that you can. Like, just, dude, stop being a sick fuck. God, it's so disturbing. It's so disturbing. The whole conversation that I'm going to have to clip out was disturbing. Like, I wish, like, you could have seen my face, but because I'm running through OBS, I couldn't have my camera on in StreamYard there. My whole face was just like... He got me a job. Pray it works. All right, long stream, probably close to 3 hours at this point. What time did I start? I can't even remember. It was like spur of the moment, I think 11 o'clock. So yeah, I think we're right at 3 hours. Gosh, it's my Sunday sermon. Fuck PTown. Dude, I don't know. I just, I say open rooms, and at this point, either you're a troll or you do have some like deep psychosis of your own. Like, you've concocted this like fantasy, I don't know, based around this movie that you saw back in the day. I don't want to play armchair psychiatrist with you. I definitely don't have a degree. But I don't know. It comes to like this. It's like Wesley Curry, man. A sweet guy, just so mentally disturbed, and like you want him to feel included, right? And you don't want to add to his psychosis, but at the same time, it's just not healthy to have him in. It's, and if you're not a troll, then I don't want to like add to your psychosis or enable it. I'm not you guys enabling Kent Hovind or justifying the pedophile that Kent Hovind enables. You want to take these things into serious consideration. I don't believe your story. I don't think that there's really any element of truth at all in it. If it's some psychosis that you're having, I hope you get help for it. I hope you drop it. Probably maybe not go on to praise streams defending pedophiles anymore. Probably not the best look for you, bruh. That's all I'm going to say. Definitely, I'm not going to, I just let you straight gaslight me, right? And you've done it like a couple times when I've been in other streams, like, and even in my own streams, like from stream to stream, you'll come in kind of gaslighting the last conversation that you had with me. And, I'll put up with gaslighting for a while, and I understand you don't understand what that is, but go look it up, you fucking moron. And I'm done with it. Like, they're open rooms, and they're going to be rare, but I don't think they're going to be open to you, bruh. I'm just saying, I gave you your chance to come in, and it was just like nothing burger shit. Now it's like Brett Keane had it right, man. I was just praying for my mom. These disingenuous interlocutors, like, why do Christians feel like they gotta fake shit? Maybe it's because their entire belief system is fake, and deep down, they understand it. And it goes to my stream last night. Maybe I triggered PTown with my stream last night. I triggered a couple Christians with it, I think. Christianity's just, the state of it is just weak. The farther we are removed from this vague incident that happened in the ancient Near East, the harder and harder it gets for people to continue with their belief in it and the ridiculousness. So PTown, next time you choose to gaslight somebody, I wouldn't make it me, because I just spent 3 hours on that ass. Guys, like the content, subscribe, hit the thumbs up or down like the Christ dude earlier. Cool, thank you. Check out the merch store. Check out my links in the description. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys probably in about a week. I'm going to try to quit smoking. The rest of the day is going to be pretty shitty. Peace.